Hey, peace and blessings, family. We are back for part two of What's Up, People. I started this on Thursday with my dear sister Khadijah. She is not just my sister; she is my blood sister, baby sister, if you will. And she's very knowledgeable, and so I like talking to her because she keeps it 1,000%. Sometimes in families, everybody has their little niche. You know, some people are like professional fakers because that's kind of like their position. And then some people are professional nice, like they're we all love each other. And then there's that gangster that be like when you want the real, and people are afraid to say it, she gonna say it. So that's one of the reasons why I got my sister back and why we up here chilling today. How you doing, sis? Thank you for coming back.
You know what? I'm blessed, thankful to God, and I'm thankful to God. No, I'm good. I'm good. How y'all doing out there in Facebook land? What up? What up?
So look, sis, I wanted to start off by
go with, first
asking
of all,
you
doing these interview questions.
Yeah.
Rolanda Walters.
So listen, sis, when you was in high school, right? You went to Luther Burbank.
3,500. You got any alumni in the building? 3,500. Oh, my nerves.
So listen, what was Burbank like? What years was that? Like 80?
93 is graduating.
Oh, 93. Oh, dang.
It was like any other high school time during that time. You know what I mean? We went to school and we came home, listened to our parents, and I'm playing. But it was gang banging. Gang banging was really thriving then, you know. So we lived over in Meadowview and the Gardens. So we had to cross from the Gardens go up to Meadowview and 9th Street and go to school. So it was gangs was very prevalent during that time. The Crips and Bloods were really prevalent at the time.
Wait a minute. So okay, so say Crips and Bloods. So we're talking about the Gardens. What gang occupied that? Were they Bloods? Were they Crips?
Mostly. And I don't know what they was going on. Because it wasn't the gang members. They had on blue and people had on red. That's what they had on. I'm not from the gang.
What did the predominantly wearing that?
Blue and red. And that blue, then you have to walk towards medicine time and then you would see red. Because you got to cross over there by Gady, by Rosa Parks. So that might have had some red. Then you had to walk up, there's 29th Street Crip. So it depends on where you was walking over there. All that's Meadowview. But it depends on where you was walking. So I said we walked past both of them.
So during that time, do you remember any community activists at that time?
Our parents were activists.
Okay.
And we had some school teachers and some people in the community that may work at a community center or something like that. But your parents were the activists. There was no need for that because the community governed our community. So if you was acting a fool down the street or on the way home or anything. I remember one time, you remember this, me and my sister was skipping school and my aunt Winnie got off the bus and we took off running because we thought, because back then a parent would see you and they would let your parents know or they would check you on the spot. Yeah, so at the time, no, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay, so you're talking about those 90s.
Yeah, late 80s, 90s.
Late 80s, 90s. So what was like your teachers like at Burbank at that time?
Well, I had Betty Carroll. She was cool, Miss Hampton. We was blessed to have some teachers that really cared about us and held us accountable. So it's cool. It was predominantly black teachers, maybe except for Mr. Perryman. Well, he was a science teacher. But they were predominantly black teachers at Burbank at the time.
All right. So when you left high school, what was Sacramento like then?
High school, I don't know because I moved to Oakland, but at that time it was just people were just working. It wasn't really that many nonprofits, to be honest. Maybe a couple, and one of them dealt with babies, if you know about that one. But there wasn't really nonprofits other than the churches because those are nonprofits. But that was the most number of nonprofits in that community at the time were just churches.
Were they banging then or no?
Was who banging?
Like the churches and the nonprofits?
No, I don't think people knew church was a nonprofit at the time.
Okay.
But those were the only nonprofits I know that they are. Those were the only nonprofits out that I can remember. But I didn't really need nonprofits at the time or community resources because my mom was very active in my life. So I didn't really, it could have been others, but I just wasn't a part of some. But I know they did have like Asian Resource Center. So the Asians had theirs back then. They had La Familia, so they had theirs back then. But I guess, did they have the Oak Park Community Center? I don't know what that was, but that's the only thing I think of that was black back then that people went to. But they had La Familia and Asian Resource Center at the time. I don't remember any black
nonprofits. I do remember Asian Resources because I came through Asian Resources and I wasn't Asian, but they did give me my first major job I had for 25 years.
Yeah, those are only two I can think of at the time.
What about the Urban League? Because they've been around for a minute.
Well, they were there, but I thought that was just for like rich black people. I didn't think that was like anything for the hood at the time. I thought the Urban League and NAACP at the time were just for like rich black people or middle class black people, not for like the ghetto. Because I've never seen anybody from NAACP or Urban League in my community growing up. I just seen them on TV like telethons or showing up, stuff like that. Never seen them in my community. So I thought they were just for rich people.
Was classism present?
Oh, absolutely.
Growing up? Give me some examples of that.
they had classes and even on a broke scale. Like it was state work that didn't really do it. People who moms might have been laborers. Like our mom, she was a maid, you know what I mean, or a cleaning one, whatever you want to call it, and in the LVN, LVN. So she wasn't like the RN, But so even back then, people who worked for the state wouldn't really associate with our mom because she wasn't in a certain tax bracket. So they even had that back then.
Wow.
Now it's just to a different level. But yeah, absolutely.
So compare that to now. Like, how is that? Because I know people who got a lot of degrees and they complain about their job at the school district or at the state, or they still complain about racism in 2023. And how people, I mean, how is that different now, or does it not?
That's probably the same. I just think we got social media, so people probably complain. Then we just didn't have a format to see it. I don't think much change. People always gonna complain about their jobs or be ungrateful for something they got, or look down upon. That's just part of nature. I don't think that much.
Okay, so now we're still in your youth. So I know that we were both a part of a lot of Black organizations. We're going to talk about those just a little bit, just to get your perspective.
Let's get into it.
What was the first Black organization that you joined, and why did you?
Nation of Islam. You know why? Just back then.
Well, NOI is for the men, so we were.
MGT, GCC.
Yeah.
Okay, but
what does that mean?
Muslim Girl Training General Civilization Class. This shit stick with you just like the schoolwork. You think about this stick with you. But first of all, I like the knowledge they was given. I love the way uniforms. I really like how everybody looked the same. You can get it because even back then we still had colorism. That was in there. We'll get to that in a minute. But I'm talking about in the community. If you didn't wear name brand things or you didn't have this, you were looked down. So when near that, everybody held the garments and everything. And I really love the Black man is God, Black woman of civilization. I love the real root of what the Nation of Islam talk about and based on. I just didn't like the way it was ran because that was not put into practice. When you remember the Black man and you go to the mom, it's two different things. Two different things. Half the shit they talk about in the Black man, they do not practice in the mosque. Okay. From my experience.
No, I get that. So, okay, let's unpack that just a little bit more. Because I feel like, no, seriously, I feel like we got to be able to have these conversations. Because right now, like, what was it? Like, I know for me, I ain't gonna front when I did the Nation. I seen the movie Malcolm X. And anybody know me know I love Denzel Washington, and I absolutely love Angela Bassett.
But we was already in the mosque when that movie came out.
But yeah, that's what made me.
We were so pumped. We took a whole group of family to go see Malcolm X. You remember that? Yes, Ramsey was there. Everybody we took. Yeah,
that's when you helped me write my ex. So
let's see what I'm. But yeah, you in the
ever. I wanted to be a part of that because I really thought that
I was over the glass table with a lamp with a we had to write a letter to get Nation of Islam. It's the same letter.
He was on
yeah. But listen, we had more than that.
No, I'm just telling you. But no, hold on. So I know for me, when I looked at the movies and looked at the things from the 60s, I felt like if I was at the time, I would have been in that number. So the first dispensation, the first resurrection, whatever we call it, how you see it, I wanted to be a part of that. That's when it was Black, though. You know what I'm saying? So that was a
not
different.
Everybody.
Well, I'm talking about back in the 1960s. Everybody, they didn't have all the mixed people. Everybody wasn't marrying white women and having kids, stuff like that. Everybody wasn't.
I got you.
So I'm saying, even though I don't remember seeing matches around my being talked about a lot. Because I think if I had seen that, I would not have joined the Nation. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I follow a white man life like Jesus. Why would I want to be following Matthew Muhammad? Like that just didn't make sense for Black Londa. But for other people, it made sense for them. Like they really are that inferior that white man had to come say, I guess I want you drink, right? So, Khadijah, what was it that really made you stand up, as they call it? Did you stood up?
Well, I was always standing. I just had some people I thought was going to stand with me. So I was standing before I got to the mosque. But just I felt like I had found my tribe. So we, you know what I mean, take over the world. You know what I mean? Like we about to build this Black nation. Let's get these supermarkets, medical care. You know what I'm saying? The school's going. So I was ready to do that. I even became the mosque secretary. Traveled to Savior's Day in Chicago. Did all of that. So I was really. I thought we was about to change the nation. And
so what were some of the differences though, like inside the nation? Like how do we go from let's build, let's get this working? What happened that did not happen? For real, I'm not trying to be funny. I
got to meet, as I traveled around, I meet some different mosques, and I got to see the protocol of Sacramento was a little bit different. So that was clue number one. Clue number two, me and my sister were like, well, me like the people in the mosque. That's the meaning of her beautiful self. Rest in peace. I believe she's no longer here.
Yeah.
But we was like the darkest people in so-called nation. So that was clue number two. That was weird. And everybody that was in position looked like they were mixed, other than brother minister. So that was like, oh yeah, that's crazy because I just everybody in my family looks kind of me, and I just kind of they look more. So I did. It just wasn't for me. After a while, I don't know. It wasn't growing. It wasn't growing. It stayed stagnant. I was in it for a while, stayed for a while, and it just wasn't growing. And people wasn't living up to measures about me.
Did you struggle with the image of Master Farah Muhammad?
Absolutely. Master Farah Muhammad was not God that I worshiped. It was still when I pray to God, I imagine someone that looks like me. So I don't really imagine a black person or just even my inner person that's God like that connects with God. That's who I pray to. So Master Farah Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, even Muhammad, to be honest, was really not part of. They were no longer part of the picture. It was just about the lesson that they get. Because even if you read the Bible, we don't have Jesus here to every time we don't look and think of Jesus. You just pray on the knowledge that you got. So I took that knowledge, was going to press on, but yeah, it is.
So one of the things that I learned from Dr. Abdul Muhammad, him lecturing, I remember him saying, in order to free yourself, somebody has to smash the idols. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like there was a lot of idol worship. And Absolutely. The biggest idol was like Minister Farrakhan. I try to be funny.
And all the ministers in every city looked like him with the on the side and the kind of like finger wave conks. Yeah. So
I just felt like, and then it was like the clean and fresh products was another thing about your hair being waved to the side.
You remember the movie Drop Squad?
Yes.
So a lot of the Nation of Islam at the time, because that we was all we black people, but reading all that, it was like we were living in that. You know what I mean? Selling flour, but then they had to get your off in a little wave and look more. You know what I mean? Then they even had like you said, the idol worship was people. You had the question like, are they black? You couldn't really tell what they were, and they were all in position of power. They were like the brother minister, or they was the brother the captain, the sister captain, but people who looked, it was almost imitation. When the black people were in the house, dark people were out there, so you see everybody left face and right face, left face, right face, they all dark, doing all the footwork. A lot of people in power that can sit back and that go to the meetings and that's in the air conditioning, ain't out there selling beans. Those were all the dark people, just like work in slavery. And all the people in power or people in position were light-skinned people. That's not by accident. So that's when we knew we had to move on.
How did Khalid Muhammad fit into this?
Because he used greatness. No matter what they did to color, because I know you asked, we just how they did Malcolm X. Right. But we were there for him after he got the mile. So we know the things he went through and how he Million Man March would have never had a million men if it wasn't for Khalid Muhammad. Let's be honest. The first one. The second one was what it was. The first one get colors. If he Khalid was able to reach everybody. So you can't people like him, like Marcus Garvey. He's somebody you just cannot keep down in history. You can Khalid was gonna be here with or without Farrakhan. We was gonna know who Khalid Muhammad was. Can't keep him down. That's how he made it.
Did the Nation of Islam in any way prepare you for Dr. Yusuf Bey?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I wasn't there with different eyeballs, though. See, I already knew the dynamics of nationalism from Nation of Islam man think. So I already went in with Dr. Benham with the idea that we're not building a nation. I'm here to perform a job, get some knowledge that he got, because he did have several businesses in the Coliseums. So that's why I knew him on a personal, the business level, not personal. So I don't know all the life. I know the business side. So we worked for his nonprofit. We worked at did all kinds of at the bakery. I was a business, absolutely. To not get my hopes up that this, but I think a savior is going to come in the physical man. Right. A savior is going to come by actions. So nobody's coming to save black people. Our actions is our savior. Nobody's coming to say, "I'm black people. I'm in you now, and no more worry." That's not going to happen. It's going to come to works.
So how did you, Khadijah, deal with all that colorism? I love Dr. Bay, but
I walk like the boss I would check their ass when they did something live. Like I check them. I'm the same way I am now. Nothing's changed. And I knew in all actuality that without someone that looked like people would exist. So I always walked like the civilization. I never paid any attention. It didn't get to me like, that it wasn't my reality. So I didn't feed into it. Other people might have been butthurt about it, but I had already experienced in Islam. My study group was 73, so it wasn't shit.
Right on. last question from the nation, and we're gonna move on to another thing. In the nation, you with you clearly knew you were black, but they wanted you to submit to them, like if because we got a person, this they're blacker than the person who's fully black, which I think is crazy as shit. Like you know what I'm saying? But how did you deal with it?
I didn't. I literally not. If they came with the type of energy, I don't. I didn't really experience that a lot. Maybe I got the don't fuck with me. I'm not. I don't. You're not my. But I didn't really. I didn't. I didn't have to deal with it. So I didn't. And if they said something out the way, or I just really didn't deal with it down there. I think Dr. Bay probably made a disclaimer like he would say it in the middle of his speeches. These two. Maybe they got on my way. Yeah, but I
remember that time we to it and we came back. We had to go speak to Dr. Bay. Mm-hmm. And you remember that meeting?
Yes.
And Dr. Bay said, "Why did you call it?" Because the dude got mad at me, bitch, which was okay. Because I'm here. So and Dr. Bay was like, "Why did the brother go for calling her basically? Like, don't do these two. Like, just don't do it." Even though my sister was gonna throw a hard drive at him.
Yeah, he was going to hit something.
And, yeah, like,
you remember in that moment though, when he was like, he gonna tell me you mad because I was gonna make you one of my, like I was supposed to be honored. But that's another color. Because I was a heavy set, dark skinned woman, they thought I was supposed to jump bandwagon and be wise. Boy, if you don't get out of here, my mama had one husband, my daddy had one wife. Get out.
It cracks me up because they act like all of them are. See, the Quran said, "Wise as you afford," and I did that afford.
Well, they was afford.
Not how many.
They was able to afford them with the assistance of aid, with the assistance of with the assistance of government resources. That's across the damn. That's across the world. That's across the goddamn nation. After look up a lot of these Muslim nations was born on Medi-Cal. I wait. I'm gonna wait for this. They didn't do medical centers. They went and got help at the centers that was built by the people they tell the devil why they treat people that look like me. Like y'all better peep this shit out. Unpack it. So I take this shit apart. But yeah.
So I just know it have as many wives as you afford. You saying not. I also feel like.
But once again, I think the Nation of Islam serves a great purpose. I'm gonna be honest with you because there's levels to everything. Even right now today is very prevalent for people who need someone to give daily direction and weekly and that's needed right now for the brothers that's coming out because a lot of brothers from Nation of Islam it really gears to make you feel like a brother again. Brother, get your man. So we need certain people need the Nation of Islam to give them that structure. It's needed like a motherfucker. The brothers with the bean pies in the final part. I don't see them. No, is that okay?
First of all, it's 102 outside. So
but they be out there feeling on the corner with their skirts on, what they did out there.
Hey, here, Philly, one out of that person is a Muslim.
They workers.
And they sell
liquor. I went to a bar and the Muslim man served me. Hold on, but what is skirt?
Beer at the Geno's place or whatever it was. But anyway, so
anyhow,
no. But I feel
that's why Muslim people try to get on Christianity. I just believe in the Almighty. I take a little bit thing and learn something to keep pushing. Right. But that's why when Muslims try to get on, if y'all Christians, what else? Do the same shit, baby mamas. Y'all talk about Christian. Got Jesus. Y'all worship Farah Muhammad. He look like Jesus. They got the hair texture and color. Hope that shit's brown. So y'all can look like that. So they and look, they go hand in organized religion. Period. Pull up in there. I'm not going to show you all the similarities. I don't know what it is. I'm going to show you in all of
it. Need to feel like somebody has to because they don't want to dig. Yeah. So I need somebody to tell them what to do. Somebody's been right their whole life, doing right, being right. This other person been robbing, raping, killing their whole community. One man level the motherfucker who been getting it right. I mean, that shit just sound like bullshit.
Well, in this work world, yeah.
That sounds crazy. You know what I mean? That sounds really crazy. But in those people instead of doing the work, going back and apologizing and trying to, right? If you sold drugs that tore down your community, maybe you should be doing stuff and not taking pictures of yourself doing it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you take somebody's life, you should still life try to make up for that life because that's a life force you took. Mm-hmm. Not still. and you can buy them a new paper tomorrow. So it's kind of I feel like times we sometimes in religion for people it leaves out redemption, the work redemption. Not somebody saying somebody forgives you. Know you need to redeem yourself. That means you may have to, like I don't know, volunteer your time. You have to.
I think that part is made in religion, so it can give the a way out. Okay. So you always have. That's why people always have the right to repent. Now you can. People will kill a whole family if you be born again, and not every so I get forgiven. And that's why I think a lot of religion, because they know this shit is real. Like you don't have to have any religious affiliation to know God. So a lot of this shit is just to bring people in. You know what I mean? But it's letting people know you can still come here and do bad. Just repent, and you be over it.
Look, I know you're not a racist. You don't have the power to be a racist. You can be prejudiced, be a racist and black. However, I struggle with white people teaching me about God. That's a struggle for me.
Yeah. Well,
that
should be a struggle for everybody. That's black.
Some people be like, I know people who
was
in Islam, not the Nation Islam, the other Islam, following white people, following the Arabs, if you will. Then the person switched to African spirituality, and now she wants a white man to get all her religious stuff. I'm like, why are you following white people and black people stuff? That's
confused. Okay. So you should probably keep her in prayer. But she sounds confused. She's a little bit confused.
Because I was like, dude, go.
And maybe she's still. See, you said she was with the Al-Islam people. You said
she was Al-Islam.
Well, see, after a while, they're gonna let you know you're black because them Al-Islam and probably they my fiance that's mine. That's all they got for the Anywho, rest in peace. But it's she got to still search. That's why it's out there.
I
for you to learn
the story.
But
that's just absolutely beautiful. Chocolate sister, just beautiful. But it's worth it. She's not getting it from someone who's not black.
Well, like I said a few days ago, we base standards of living, beauty, success, and everything on white people. Probably somebody white to tell her, "You're doing good, little black girl," or "Black, you do black girl." Some people need hope. He's steering her in the right direction. That's great.
Yeah. So okay, I'll take that with the Nation. I got it. While we was in the Nation, we did visit other organizations because we kind of like to do that,
and we knew that wasn't filling up our curiosity meter or our knowledge. Wasn't filling. I like to
when you're the mother of civilization, everybody's your children.
Yeah,
or you're Now, I ain't even trying to take responsibility.
But you should though, because we do present. You can't take. It's not to take responsibility. It's just facts are facts. So people look out. I'm big. I'm fat. That's a fact. I can feel skinny all day. Being honest,
you don't appear to be skinny. You don't feel like the skinny.
I don't identify as a skinny person. I know I'm chunky as a mug.
I'm gonna start being like, but the girl named this big crying. Nobody want to see her naked. The singer. Lizzo. Lizzo crying and shit because why don't nobody see me like they see me? I'm big and shit. I don't want to see like out loud. But hey, we love Lizzo, but yourself don't be crying and shit. I think that's my pet peeve. Don't be crying like you me over here. Like I can't do that.
Stuff away. Go ahead. Put it away.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so one of the first organizations we ran across because we was on Discovery. We found the AAU. And what was your thoughts of the AAU?
I thought they were playing black. I was like 60s movie, and they was playing black. Even they like they was from the 60s. They was playing black. So I felt like I was in you said like one of the black. I didn't take them. I don't even remember their ass all the way. That's how I wasn't interested. They like they were stuck between school age and a black. So I remember that.
So I got to tell you the one moment that occurred with us with them that I thought was so funny. I still laugh about it. Do you remember we was at their headquarters on East 14?
We wasn't locked. So
and you were on a weight bench and you were kind of hanging out with them. And my sister was on a weight bench and she was kind of working on her little triceps. And the dude said, what does fool say? His baby mama.
Oh, he was Black Papa. We gotta start it off. Okay, everything was black. The black man, the black woman unified can change the world. The black man and the black woman, the black man, the black woman. Then you say your mom was coming to drop something off or something. He said, I want to let you before she get here. that she was Caucasian. I said, get this guy. The way I couldn't even get off the way.
Deuces. She was out so
I
fast. So that's one of the things.
I'm gonna get you sucker. Remember, I'm gonna get you sucker. The man was pro. I'm gonna get you sucker. And then his wife came out. She was a white woman. Ain't that?
Yes. Is that the same place with man? About
you pulled your.
I said we getting this meat, and the man starts talking crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my handkerchief from my glass case and wipe my face. That means it's time to go. We wasn't in there
3 to 4 minutes.
The man started talking about this, and I politely opened up my glass like this, and my laughed at.
Yeah,
she laughed so hard. So we've had.
I laughed for her. I said, "Excuse me, I can't breathe." I said,
I sparked something on the screen of her imagination.
That was making you gross. We got big breasts, and you keep talking about breasts. No, it's time for us to bounce.
That shit was so to go to hell home. I forgot about them. I couldn't stop laughing. So that was one instance. What about damn.
Yahweh.
How was that experience for you?
You know, that was out of all they were really the most immaculate as far as dressing. Can't nobody outdress no Yahweh people. It was clean as shit. Same, they just stole some of the nation stuff and credit that it was the same.
So what made you not want to follow them?
Well, I follow nobody. The next year I was done with joining anything. I can come listen to y'all, and I wasn't joining. I don't even join churches now. I come visit, and they always got that altar call. Like, come on up, like I'm good. I see you. But yeah, I never want to join them to begin with. But it was cool. They was cool until the scandal shit came out.
All the biblical dress.
That's what because it made them feel like they want to. What I'm learning about people, everybody wants to look different. They want people to be like, who are they? Who the Dr. Bettis, Freedom Murray Dennis, and black bolts up back in red. You know, that's why the Nation of Islam has the headpiece and everybody wants to look so they can identify their people. So that's what I thought, and they were from. Yeah, so that's why Miami's very flashy. That's Ferrari. That's why the Rolls Royces and the Bentleys back in. But it was doing a lot of scamming and shit. They Bentleys back in the 80s. They was everything diamonds and rubies and all that. Like, yeah. So everybody, I think everybody wants to give a look so that they can look as far different from everybody else as they can.
Am I missing anybody else?
Everybody. Hebrew Israelites, the 5% nation. We're gonna study with them, everybody. What's the Ansar Muhammad's?
Mm-hmm.
J people. Then it was also a brother that left the nation that was somebody's brother. He was mad at everybody. Remember, I can't remember his name.
Are we glitching? Okay, hold on, family. Let me fix this glitch. A few people said we was glitching, so let me see. I think it's because we're in here. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to check this glitch real quick. You got some jewels, Khadijah. I don't want us to miss this. Are we still Dottie? Tell me if we're glitching. That's why I took that blur off.
Yeah.
It's still glitching? Hold on. Let me see something. We'll go here. Check properties of it.
Stop playing.
Okay, let me see. Hold on, family. Hold on. Give me just a minute. I'm trying to check up with the glitch.
Hold on.
She looks clear right here.
Hold on.
I feel like you're still moving slow from where I am. I'm gonna do. Could you go get my laptop off my bed?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, y'all, give us a minute. I'm gonna fix this glitch. We're gonna talk for a minute, but give us just a minute. We're gonna check the glitch, and I'm gonna switch it over to the laptop, which has a different frequency. So, y'all bear with us, family. I see people coming and going, so like it must be a glitch on here. Thank y'all. Thank you. I was trying to work on it this whole time, but it's giving me some.
Here's what it is.
So yeah, how you moving? See what I'm saying? And it says that it's on the internet. It says that. What's that? It says that we're on.
Oh, well, how you doing in Senegal? I just seen that. card.
If I have my other phone, I need my purse because it has another phone. I can probably look at Wi-Fi.
I'm slide my feet out. But I want to get my camera set
Okay, y'all,
up.
hold on. We're working on that. So if you just joined us and talk about my sister, we're talking a little bit about. So sometimes what I find is that a lot of us eat a lot. Some of us read a lot, but we don't really talk to people who actually put the time in join organizations in those times. Like when we was in the nation and learning about Black organizations, it was kind of like with the nations that was like their biggest time was like in the 60s or whatever. And then once they the assassination of Malcolm X and Muhammad dying, it kind of apart. And then Miss Farrakhan went to court and stuff like that, got big like a balloon. And he started to stand back up on the shit. He started to stand back up, and cut the pork out and got himself to shave and had Khalid Muhammad as his back, and they rebuilt the nation. So no disrespect. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody dissing Miss Farrakhan. He's a really cool guy. You know what I'm saying?
He plays the violin very well.
I respect him as an elder. So giving you like the facts. So, but I also met people who were around when Ms. Farrakhan was just a minister, and in the environment that he created, some say it contributed to the death of Malcolm X. So I'm just saying, like, it's different when you talk to people who live the era, as opposed to people who are like little robots and they won't fight you because you said something about Elijah Muhammad or you said something about Ms. Farrakhan or whatever, but don't say shit to the cops who beat their ass every day and the white people who shit on them every day. So,
Mom told CJ.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, go ahead. Can you get my purse? Sorry, go ahead. You get this house like what? Because all I said, I didn't see that. I thought it was a boombox or something. Sorry about that. So anyway, family, I'm sorry. We're trying to get this glitch thing working. But I felt like one of my sisters, I feel like she has a lived experience, just as I have a lived experience. And most of us will be talking about organizations, and we don't even know nobody who was in the nation or in. And I'm just saying the nation. There was the Black Guerrilla family was out there. There was the it was 5% Nation.
Yahweh.
Yeah, but there was a whole bunch in the 60s.
Oh,
like
60s,
Black
yeah.
House, Black Mafia family. Mm-hmm. Like there were Black SNCC. Yeah. I'm trying to remember their names. Black Panthers was out, right? So there's all of these organizations, but most of us don't know. And then there'll be people who was in, like, say, a Panther for like 30 days, and they'll be talking to you like they was in the Panthers for 10 years. Like
built the Panthers.
Yeah, so it's kind of like y'all gotta get the knowledge, family. Y'all gotta get the knowledge. So that's what I'm attempting to do. And he didn't bring the little laptop, huh? So I guess get in my purse so I can hook up to another. I got another thing I can hook up to. That probably will work because it ain't gonna work on here. But anyway, because he's not showing up here. So anyway, I just kind of want to talk with my sister and to bring that information on, because I feel like sometimes we'll be talking about things like if we knew the time. That's like when people talk to me about Tupac. I'd be like, who the hell are y'all talking about? Tupac who? Like who? The rapper? Turned actor?
And that's once again Black people creating false idols. They have built Tupac up to be this person that was for justice for Black people, and he had so much beef going on or negativity outside of his music. So yeah, we like to create heroes, and that's once again what you was talking about the other day, where we embrace and support negativity and criminality.
Yeah,
that's another case of it.
But it doesn't mean that he didn't have the parts in him that
absolutely was raised by his mom.
You know what I mean. Knowledge. But I also know we watched him on video jump a man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but it also speaks to the fact that it's like we don't really care about Black life, but we'll be so on white people talking about Black Lives Matter when we know the Black lives don't matter to Black people. Mm-hmm. It's true. So for me, I'm not dissing.
It is what it is.
Tupac. I'm just saying I lived in that time with him, and
he made some great songs. He made some good songs. Yeah. He was a good entertainer. He was very knowledgeable. So when he did everybody you look at these clips of these interviews, he dropping some jewels because he really had the jewels to drop. But he also had to simulate, because nobody was buying all his conscious shit when he was out. He didn't really make conscious music. He had to throw in all the every other city, all the hoes. He had to throw in some hoes and bitches. Remember Lauryn Hill song? So I add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas hear me. Right so on. Tupac had a lot of knowledge that he could have maybe even changed hip hop, but he simulated and created some bullshit so he can make money. They didn't want to hear the conscious Tupac. Hear the conscious
Give
people.
that person my phone. Like, see, this is a phone. Just switch around.
Reach around the hold on, this big ass pocketbook here. Get your big pocketbook.
All right, y'all, hold on a minute. Give us a minute. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this glitch. Can you see a phone?
First of all, we gotta go through some shit because
you'll see it. It's like a the phone. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, y'all. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can fix this real quick before I switch over. Thank y'all. Bear with us for just a minute. Okay, we got some jewels. I just want to. National hotspot. What is the guy calling me from? Tell us what calling me, please, Lord Jesus. Did you call me? Who called me?
Oh, I don't have my phone.
Okay, baby. No worries. No worries. I'm gonna cut this. Maybe that'll help increase us. Like, how's it looking over there?
oh, this is frozen.
Frozen? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, I got you, Dottie. No. From here. Take your ass to the Caribbean, fight them motherfuckers. The niggas. Oh shit. Are you back on?
Hey!
You just have to Daddy, how are we better, y'all?
Nope. Froze. You got me frozen like I'm not. Okay, it's sticking. It's delayed.
Damn. Hold on, y'all. We almost. Hold on.
Use that laptop.
Yeah, we may have to go to. Y'all, give us a minute. Hold on. Give us a minute, family. Hold on. Hold on. All right, family. Hold
All
on.
right, family.
Hold
All
on
right,
just a
family.
minute.
All right.
Woo. Okay. What about now, buddy? See you at home. It's the pause is out here. Okay. So we're gonna have to walk this into the house. All right, y'all. Hold on. We gonna make every
Because Pop,
That was a slow move. Look at that. So let me see. Let me see if I do the blur out. Okay. Like this. Okay.
Drop full hole there.
Hold on. Push was it's plugged up right there.
Oh, gotcha.
And I should have took the knot out of there. Just unplug and take the knot out so we can move it if we need to while I fix this camera.
Oh yeah, that feels
We're
good.
live.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We're back. We've moved studios.
Okay.
Okay. And we're just getting the lighting together. And when we left, y'all, we were I was sharing with you all that it's very different talking like when back in the days in the 90s when we were young and we were involved in movements, we found ourselves talking to people who were a part of movements. You remember that? Mm-hmm. So they were telling us what things were like in the 60s and what was really going on. And most times some of us never talk to people who lived the time. So for instance, when it came out that we had joined the Nation of Islam, we would meet people who was in the first resurrection or the first dispensation. Mm-hmm. They did not have a lot of nice things to say about Miss Farrakhan. Mm-hmm. Not like they knew the Farrakhan who stood up again on the truth, but they talked about the Farrakhan that created environments in which Malcolm X had been assassinated in. So they just did not so much feel him like that. And I think they had every right to say that. One of the things I see us do sometimes is that we have this imaginary place where we think Black people are trying to get to. Mm-hmm. And we'll be like, because I think I've heard some lectures where he said, we dealt with our trade the way we thought we should. It's like, who the fuck is you? Mm-hmm. Like, if the person not in your shit no more, let them go about their business. Yep. You see what I'm saying? So, even as he got older, he tried to apologize and he was talking to whatever. It is no disrespect, but I just feel like it is important to talk to people who live the time, because sometimes we make people leaders who, if people were still alive and if we did a better job of passing down the information, certain people would not be leaders.
Mm-hmm. It would be in leadership, absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, Khadijah, do you remember when we first started hearing stuff like that? What was your thoughts about that, and what did that mean to you, or did that not mean anything?
My thoughts about it was like, I knew something was not right, to be honest.
Okay.
Because you know how, like you said, as we're in the Nation of Islam and we're going to different mosques and different states and stuff like that, and we get to see other people move, we knew everywhere was like a similar weirdness or something just wasn't right. So I wasn't shocked at all. Mm-mm. Not at all. Not if you know your history.
Do you think why? Okay, so here's really the question. I'm trying to get it together in my head. It just seems like there is a reoccurring theme where Black people don't necessarily value other Black people the way they would make us think that white people don't value us. Does that make sense? So we'll say stuff like, we're trying to build a nation here. If we as a people could just get together, like if we were all together in Africa, which we really weren't. Mm-hmm. But we have this thing, it's like a genericness. When we talk about Black people, it's in a kind of like a generic kind of tone. Mm-hmm. Like if we could just all eat grits, if we could just all wear purple pants. So it's always
those are usually people that really lack real knowledge, so they try to make everything inclusive or everybody because they don't know about in particular neighborhoods or cultures or people. That's what I was saying when you was like the other day. Certain people that may look like us, they may live all the way where there are no Black neighbors and there are no Black people. Then they will come around. They only get their Black experience of life from social media, the news, what they read and stuff like that. So then they come around and that's when they make blanket statements like all of us. They don't know. They live in the community. They see there are different variations of Black people. And thinking. So these are people who are very far removed from communities, because you would know in our community there are the hardworking people in our community. Mm-hmm. There are the gangbangers in our community. There are the people that just want to live off the system their whole life. So I didn't even know you could pass on Section 8 and will it to somebody.
What?
Okay, somebody passed. God rest their soul, I'm not going on there. But they was a caretaker for their mother. when the mom had been on Section 8 since like Section 8 probably started. Kelly had been in this house since like the 40s or some shit or 50s. Whenever Section 8 started, she was already living there. So they say, hey, this is going to be a Section 8 neighborhood. Anyway, she's on Section 8 for years. When she passed, because her child took care of her, she willed, or whatever you do, her daughter was able to then pick up her mother's Section 8 and continue to live off that. And if you've been on Section 8 for 40 years, you should have saved a fucking gang of money. You should be able to go buy a house at this point. So the next people that need some help can get it. So I was saying that to say those are particular people in the neighborhood that will Section 8. None of the some that don't really want to be in the black neighborhood, so they don't even go out to the rallies and the protests. They don't even watch the news. Nigga get shot by the cops. Cool. I'm tired of niggas anywhere. I work every day 9 to 5. So it's all different types of black people. When people say all of us, they probably don't live around black people because there's no way to say everybody because we all have different perspectives and opinions. So people that say that probably don't even live in black neighborhoods or are very far removed from the black people.
How do you think a mother feels who birthed children who are criminals?
I don't know. I would hope she'd have some type of empathy and really check herself and maybe do a better job when she has grandchildren, but I don't know. But my mom held us accountable. Not that we was jailbirds and no shit like that, but just little things, we would be, I don't know. Maybe we need to get a mother on here whose son did, because I don't have an answer. I know I've been around people I've been around some mothers. I met a very wonderful woman because her son had been murdered by someone in the community, and the mother of the killer was in court harassing the victim's mother and grandparents. So I think Christy put the call out. So we all, we need somebody to be there. So we showed up. So that kind of shit for me was crazy because I didn't even know this one at all. But how dare your son wreak havoc and take a life? You had another son at the time that was also arrested. That got arrested shortly after. They should have 2 sons that were just criminals, period. But you to come to court and harass someone whose child has been a victim to your child's bullshit because you didn't do what you're supposed to do as a parent and raise them right. Oh yeah, we're gonna show up every time and support you. We have to start getting those type of women out of our community, getting those type of people out of our community and call their ass out. Do
you think they should have like a mark on their head, like a 6?
Yeah, they should have. Remember Scarlet Letter? Yeah, y'all watch Handmaid's Tale? Yes. They need something on it to be like a F for fucked up parent. That could be one. Whatever their child committed, there needs to be something. And something for the people who did it. Because see what happened. This was a young man, teenager. He's going to get out after having took a life. And people going to say, oh, he was young. He took a life. I was young. I never thought I'm young will kill somebody. So him being young, okay. And, so it needs to be something to mark on them when they come out so everybody can know he took a life. I don't give a fuck if he did 15, 20 years. There should be a mark on him saying someone took a life.
What if he's born again? Does that count?
That the person he died can't be born again, so you can't be born again. It's not possible. Can't be born. That life is gone. So there should be no born again. Some things there's no repenting, there's no forgiveness for. You still a candy bar, you still loaf of bread because you was hungry. You know what? I get it. You go rob an elderly woman and steal her pension and knock her in the head and shoot her and kill her. Nigga, no, there is no repentance for you. Like that's why I say religion or certain things gives people an exit or excuse. Shouldn't be no excuse. It's certain things that's just no. You still in the feed to feed your family or be even then ain't nothing because we live in, especially in California, you go pick some fucking fruit. It's anything. Yeah. So, but when you take a life because you feel like you're God, I think you should be like underneath the jail. I don't even think they should get 3 meals a day. I know people be like, I work in the prison and it's so hard. These motherfuckers get electricity. They get yard time. They got on fucking jumpers. They get new flat shoes. No, I'm saying because people really be fighting for prisoner rights. And there's people out here that they have committed crimes for that's living worse than the motherfuckers in there. They get to go see the dentist. They get to go do a lot of stuff. Are there some prisons worse than others? Absolutely. You're on fucking punishment. Prison is a punishment. It's not supposed to be like a fucking summer camp. So all these people fit the prison conditions. My brother got 99 years because he only killed 4 people. Sorry. He get to get on the computer and talk to his family. These motherfuckers got cell phones. It's like we have really given the criminals so much luxury that these motherfuckers don't care about going to jail. Like a brother that I'm doing work with, he was saying since they stopped all the mandatory drug programs in order to get back, people don't even give a fuck. They know before you have to go through a drug program and do all these classes in order. Since all that's done, people commit a crime, get out. Commit a crime, get out. That's why we have so many repeat offenders.
So did I leave my phone in there now? I think I may have left my damn phone. It's okay. It's all good. I'll find it. There it is over there. So do you feel like See, I feel like society is getting ready to splinter in a major way
Mhm.
because you're not the only person who felt like that. I'm not the only person that felt like that. I think people who are rearing their children and abiding by the law, they don't want to be with people who don't fucking take care of their kids
because they're tired of the ratchet culture. They're tired of the lackadaisical, criminal-minded, wreak havoc, fuck what everybody going through. It's about me. They're tired of the selfishness of people. Absolutely, people are tired. Yeah, it's got to be. It's a day. My mom used to say, well, mom used to say, I don't want to be here when shit hit the fan. Shit is hitting the fan.
Yeah.
It's pregnant men out here. Now that shit ain't hitting the fan. They're pregnant men. Transgender men that were women. They're pregnant. So I'm being honest. There are pregnant men out here. Shit is hitting the fan. I'm not being funny. I'm being completely serious.
That shit sound like an oxymoron. That's what I'm sorry, y'all. That was so professional, but damn, it's just the way he said. It's pregnant men out here.
Shit is hitting.
Well, here's the thing.
Because
in fantasy world, there are pregnant men.
Yeah.
But really, in reality,
it's a woman.
There is a woman that's a man.
But I'm saying
it's a man that's pregnant.
But I'm trying to be
and
gender appropriate. I
think I'm a millionaire, and I feel like people don't get to be who the fuck they want to be until I get to be who the fuck I want to be. That's. I think I'm a millionaire. I want to be treated like a millionaire. I want to roll up and get in any car I want. I want to have all the money in the world. I can just take everybody on road trips. I want to be treated as a millionaire. Call me.
Jet at your disposal.
Right, goddamn right. I want to have dinner with the president. Well, not that president, but shit.
There are men on here, like on how you watch a little reality show. There's a man that's bragging about having 30 kids. Like shit is hitting the fan. That's not hitting the fan, y'all. He knows
like
9 baby mamas and some shit like that.
He knows slavery is over. He don't have to pregnant people anymore.
Gotta be no buck no more.
But then we got people who do a whole special on the shit like they saving black people. Then we got these motherfuckers because they from Philly like we from Philly. Well, they spend part of their time in Philly. They really from Brooklyn. But my thing is, I'm tired of the self-help gurus. And these motherfuckers ain't been married to nobody for a minute. Now, how the fuck you gonna give us advice on relationships? You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy. No, seriously. We be like, we're gonna fix your life. Bitch, you can't fix my life.
Fix yours.
Fix your motherfucking life. Like, I just feel like the shit has gotten crazy because you don't really want. I mean, being on your show, I did see one where the man was so fucking disrespectful. That probably was the realest fucking show I've ever seen. Because in life, we are dealing with that nigga.
About when her son had to step in?
Yeah. I felt her son though, but I'm just saying. So we can't do like, and no disrespect, I think Ayana's probably pretty cool. I mean, she's like an elder, I guess. But what I'm saying is I give people titles, but sometimes I feel like I don't want to do the fluff shit because here's my thing with Ayana Van Zandt. I'm gonna keep all the way buck because I like Ayana. I read your books. I've been reading your books for years. I think you definitely have some knowledge to share. Okay, amen. Okay, so look, my thing is when that sister says she would date the man who runs the company
versus the
here she comes with that fucking gutter mother of men bullshit. Like if that is her entitlement, like when y'all sons say they don't date black women, y'all don't get them a fucking lecture. When they come and say
you be all black, your baby gonna have mixed looking hair.
But I'm just saying, like nobody says to them, don't say that. But if a woman sets her standards, we got an issue with that. And I was like myself, what's her fucking right?
Some people in our community now have an issue. We lack standards, integrity, and morals.
Okay.
There are no standards for relationships or picking a mate. At one time, you dated somebody that to court somebody to move on to marriage. So you always want to pick a mate that can help provide, to help bring something to you. Now we have no now we got to take all the pieces. His mom missed the fuck out and puzzle piece this nigga together. We playing Tetris with these niggas, so not me though, but I'm saying people play Tetris. But we lack standards, we lack morals. So this person could have had a girlfriend that got 5 kids and he didn't buy the kids nothing because none of the kids was his. But we'll date this nigga. Like, and you got 5 kids too. So he didn't even take his girl. So we lack morals, you know what I mean? They cuss their mama out, call their mama bitches, smoke weed with their mama, all that. So we lack morals with that way. And it's not what you need. There's no standards. Listen to your baby. So yeah, people are lacking standards out here. Absolutely.
Okay, wait, he goes hit that door in a minute. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. But no, it's on the other side of the bed. I just can't. No, ain't going. We blur. You look like just a shadow moving.
Right there, you right there now.
Yeah, we can't. We fucking with you. Thank you.
Look, you're right.
Okay, look. So there you go. So hold on. Let's stay on that for a minute because
don't get me started on morals.
No, because I feel like it was just the way people were coming for this sister. Instead of saying, That is her standard. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of women who look like this sister. I like her. I think she's cool. I don't watch their stuff too much because when I watch BET Soul or whatever, Soul TV, whatever, it's a bunch of, again, racial. I don't see no people who look like me on there.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm not mixed with none. So you don't get to see that. You know what I'm saying? We don't do authentic black people. We do mixed black people or people who are clear or whatever. Fuck. So my thing is, when you look at the NBA players, most of them are married to women who look like her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's right. I think she's in her right lane. And don't get mad because, and usually people get mad is the nigga that's the bus driver or the nigga who don't got no job. You see what I'm saying? So this one is like, I should be able to date. That's what get me. I should be able to date who I want to. Dude, you can't even afford to buy this person's underwear. Like, are you kidding me? But my thing is when you have standards, and then I also see sometimes where people talk about black women are too picky. Like you act like do y'all think we still in slavery where we had to breed with people because we did that because we were property? Do you know we are not property right now? Do you know we belong to ourselves? And if I want to date a blind man from Russia, that's my goddamn right. I don't have to be dating Tyrone's broke ass. Like I ain't got to go build him the fuck up. Like y'all doing too much. Mm-hmm. And these mothers stop raising fucking bum ass sons because you know all of his. Let's be honest. I'm not letting the daddies off the hook, but I don't know they daddies because most children end up with their moms. Okay, so you gotta look at yourself, mom. When you knew that fool should have took the trash out and you didn't let him because you thought he was so cute. You know, when the fool didn't want to go to school, he don't know how to read because he think reading is dumb.
Or when cute. Or when he be like, "Shut the fuck up," and y'all laugh and say, "Listen to him cuss."
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, you produced this nut. I remember one of my really good friends said her son, he had finished high school, and this was on. He just gonna lay around all day and chill. His mother was like, "If you don't go get your ass a job, I am throwing your ass out." And I was talking to her on the phone. I said, "Wow, like she said, let me tell you something. I didn't raise no bum. Mm-hmm. I'm preparing him to be somebody's husband. So if he don't get a damn job, hold on,
most young people now don't even want.
I know he did get himself together, and now he's doing wonderful. Because his mama was like, he about to get the fuck up out of here. But that took a lot for that mother to do that because nobody want to see their kid homeless. Mm-hmm. But if I don't give him this lesson now, he will be a bum for the rest of his life. Yes. Yep. Right. Do black people not do marriage anymore? Of course, black people get married all the time. Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, I mean, it's not celebrated as much, or
why is that? Though?
I don't know. We right now we embrace the ratchet culture. I can't say
seem like
we embrace anything that's unnatural, like these unnatural bodies, this unnatural hair textures. These fucking. Wow. I'm gonna get back to these lace fronts, these eyelashes. I think it should be a petition. Unless you got alopecia, you can't wear that shit. You can't wear lace fronts, eyelashes, unless you have alopecia or some type of condition that you don't grow hair. But it's ridiculous. But yeah, absolutely. Most people that are married or have been married are so bitter when they're done, they don't even support the next person in marriage. They just tell them their horrible experience. Mm-hmm. And like you said earlier, people know people that was in the nation they talk to. People don't talk to people who happily married. They who they think they is like, how they want to do a lot in their 50 years. Well, yeah, you're gonna go through a lot in life, period. But
they did it together.
Exactly.
I definitely think that. So you think marriage, like that's something that when should we be talking about marriage with our children?
The whole time growing up. Okay. White people, the white children, the Asian children, they see marriage throughout the whole time they're growing up. That's why they have so many family events. Black people do it too, It's just like you said, not a lot of mamas with their kids, but I'm sorry.
No, but, seriously.
The whole time they're growing up. You should be talking about marriage. If it is, you don't even have to say what the gender is. People say gender, but talk about marriage, a man and wife, or husband and wife. You don't got to go into the specifics of how babies is made, but absolutely, it's the time they come out. They have to. Children imitate what they see.
Do you think religious institutions have any bearing on how people see marriage?
It should, because in every religion they talk about marriage. But I don't know if the people really take heed. Half people don't even read their Bibles or they goddamn Torahs or their Qurans. I'm being honest. A lot of people are like fly by day religious people. And then they can look up anything. I can look up a scripture right now and give you a scripture. You would think I was a pastor. I'm saying, so people don't even really be in the words. They probably don't even know the part of the Bible that talk about marriage. They only know the part of the Bible that say that you got man is woman is submissive to man. They only know that part. They take certain parts that they want to hear and they take it.
So listen, do you think that we look at like things that are happening, let's say politically, and think how that's going to impact our families if we're not on welfare?
No. Black people as a whole?
Yeah.
Look at political things. Hell no. No, that's not all black people. No, and I'm not saying once again, I'm not monolith. This is your word. We're not a monolith.
Yeah.
But we don't be talking about legislative laws and who be voting into power. Hell, we will vote for our homie, even if this homie do shit for us. Their ideas is different, Or he running, this happened to him, so now he's a political figure. He finna run for something. Boy, if you don't sit the fuck down, you ain't even graduate. Nothing. Like sit down. You was just on live, cracked out. Sit down. You're not running for nothing. But we'll be like, he's had a very hard childhood, and we should give him a council member seat. No, the fuck we should not. So no, and we're not into political shit like that. Yeah, no. Right now we have let trauma-filled people, because we all have trauma, but sometimes trauma can spark a good thing, or it can spark a predator, or it can spark a pimp, or it can spark, sometimes it spark a revolutionary. They want to change some things because they've been through some things, and then the crook. We got a lot of people who have experienced some tragedies have turned into crooks, and now they're trying to be community leaders and advocates, activists, and all that other. I'm so tired of the word activists. I swear, I call them activists because I don't care. I'm gonna activists because regardless of how much they say they activists, they really want that fucking camera time. They really want the recognition to say this person was here on this date. I was here. That's why I know some people that feed the homeless. You would never know because they don't be out there like, take this picture while I give them this plate. Take this snap. Right. People. I know so many people that do that, but don't. People, they say activists, but they are activists. They're really trying to get their shine. They really want to be seen. That's why it's a lot of sneak dissing. It's a lot of subliminal posting. That's why I just call out names. I don't need to be subliminal. I'm just gonna say it out there. A lot of people will bash because they really want that spotlight. They're not quite there yet. They ain't got their pimping down just right. Got to work on your pimping.
So when I asked you earlier about in the late 80s and early 90s, do you remember there being a lot of nonprofits or activists? You said no, because what we were going through at that time was the crack era. So most of the people who we now know as activists were drug dealers and pimps in those times. Mm-hmm. Easy to say yes, or they went to prison for 25 years for selling some weed or crack or whatever, mm-hmm. Right?
Or they were just in our community doing some other shit that wasn't productive. So there's one person in particular, and Delbert, if you watching, he stole the money from Gady. Now he's not a political figure and own shit, but he didn't have a nonprofit. He was coming up like he was a coach. I don't know if he even played basketball, but I know he stole that money from Gady. So we had those. Maybe that wasn't activist at the time because he was raising money for the team because the community is a black school. It's Rosa Parks now, but we got to raise money for the basketball team. And then the money came. People donated on the car wash, everything. His ass, boop. He did it again when somebody's child passed, and he did a GoFundMe and stole their money too. See, I know the history.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Okay,
let's stop right there. Hold on, no. I'm saying that because I feel like
this shit.
That's a real issue.
Huh? Nowadays, like sponsoring events regarding keeping people safe, and they have had allegations of improper engagement with young girls. Like this shit is really sick. Okay, but
what I'm saying to you, what I was trying to say to you earlier was, so if people went from being drug dealers, pimps, hustlers, the whole nine, went to prison for 25 years.
Those are some people that are activists now too.
They're prison wives and groomers. So.
No, I'm saying for the people outside.
No, I'm just saying, but those people who are prison wives, mm-hmm. I'm saying most times they are also.
Because I know you talked about the prison wives that the men have while they're in prison. That's why we have the down low brothers out.
Oh shit!
So I sorry, what I was
that's a whole other group. Yeah, thank you, sis. So
and they out now too working with our young boys, and they got prison wives in the prison. Now they're activists. A man that did
prison wives who are really men.
Yeah, so they done did 25 years. Now they out community activists working with our young boys. And then you wonder why the young boy don't want to date no girls and this. Go ahead, keep going. Sorry, I ain't trying to throw y'all this.
You got me shocked on that one.
No, I'm telling the truth. There's a lot of booty bandits out here. Booty man just got out.
I agree. So my thing is, how do we begin to make those connections? Because what you're saying, I think, is something we really need to discuss. I feel like if you're going to be out here working, like for instance, you cannot go into no other community and do a nonprofit, and you used to be a pimp. You cannot go into the Asian culture and do that.
Absolutely not.
I mean, their gangs are dangerous. They are the most dangerous gangs we have. They cut off people's fingers and shit. They do home invasions on motherfuckers. Like, I'm just saying. So you cannot roll up in their shit and do some funky shit.
Because they have standards.
Okay.
They have expectations.
Right on.
They have a code. There's certain shit you just don't do to our people. Right. Like in all the sex trafficking and all the. I worked in a group home administrator for years since I was 21 and 48. Mm-hmm. I remember maybe 2 Asian girls coming through in all my 27 years.
Wow.
Maybe 2. Wow. Maybe 2. So, we got to look at that. And the sex trafficking, a lot of girls missing. How many Asian girls do you really see? And I'm not talking, if you do see some, they hanging out with the colored people, as y'all call them, people of color, they hanging out. That's some Asian that probably think they, hood or whatever. And those are the ones you see. You got to do the eyeliner, lip and all that shit. But how many times do you see Asian girls being sex trafficked? I'll wait. So this is because they put a halt to that shit. Where we'll have a former pimp, drug dealer, whoever come and speak to people, and what you should be speaking to other criminals on how to stay out of jail. That's the only thing you can give back.
But they scared of them now.
Yeah,
they're not gonna mess with real men because I was at a meeting one time where a person who had a nonprofit was trying to get hyped with a dude who just did like 27 years in prison, and the dude was like, "Yo, blood, we could take this shit outside," and the dude bitched up. Like he was just like, wait a minute, I'm used to talking shit to women. This is a real man. This nigga did 27 years in jail. He would break me in two, even though I'm only half a man. He would break me into a quarter. You see what I'm saying? So I never forgot that. I was like, wow. So the answer to him is another real man. Because I also think, Khadijah, in that time of when people went to jail for those 25 years in the 90s, that's where all of these punk motherfuckers started showing up. Because our communities were not protected. Yeah, that's the only reason you could come from, say, the Bay, just say the Bay, and come up to Sacramento and run your gang, because the real dude who will be there, like this nigga, is in jail for 27 years. And then women be so desperate for a penis, that's why so many girls walking around here with socks in their underwear thinking that they dudes, because we are missing that energy in our community. No, they're serious, and I know it's fucked up. But you know what I'm saying? Because I wonder, like, if you really feel like a dude, that's great. Just be who you are. But I think the emulation means that we're missing the energy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gay, I'll take it. I'm good. But when you start emulating niggas with a beard and shit, I'm like, that takes work.
We worked with some women when I was young. I didn't even know they were gay because they didn't come walk around. They were men, but they were beautiful women, very feminine. They were a couple. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I never forget meeting a dude who's the scientist, and he talked about how and when you want to study human beings, you really look at the smallest things that exist amongst us. And his thing was to study frogs. And he said he noticed that when they started messing with the water supply, that a lot of the male frogs end up dying off. But what they noticed is some of the female frogs turned into male frogs. It was weird as shit. But it has something to do with the water changing, but also that energy, because the yin and the yang has to exist. Like even in that relationship, there has to be a feminine and a masculine. Two masculine women cannot be together. Like they beat each other's ass. Like somebody has to have the other side to that. It just doesn't, it's like trying to plug something into the socket. You can't plug two positive into another positive. It doesn't work like that. So I just feel like in our community, that is so lacking. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I seen the shit coming. Because I remember in the 90s when I worked for a nonprofit, and a lot of those nonprofits were ran by women who were lesbians, honestly. And some of them were very nice, but some of them were like not as cool. Like they really hated on people.
Not cool. Sorry, that's from Zoolander. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, just not cool. Like just like, so it just, and then they had programs where they would help women, but nothing for the men.
You have to be a single woman to get help. It couldn't help if it was if they were a couple and the man was at work or whatever, and the woman, you had to be single.
Right. I remember that.
Much like the welfare system that was set up in here. You get the man couldn't live at home, or remember that was a Claudine?
Yeah, Claudine.
Yeah, it's much the same way. Same thing right now. Same thing right now.
So yeah, that makes sense too. So Khadijah, I'm gonna back you up a little bit since we're trying to get back on this track. So we talked about the nation, being a nation, Yahweh ben Yahweh, right? You said, why couldn't you join them?
I didn't want to join that now. I'm not a joiner. I don't even join sports clubs, groups. I just wanted to go visit. Okay. I never had a chance to join the shit else.
You did the OAAU. I said that long shit.
Yeah,
OAA.
Whatever. Yeah.
Organization of the African American Unity.
No.
Them. Who else we had?
Shuckum.
Who's not Shuckum? No. Sheik.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember the
They
name
were
of the place.
Sheetrock, Yachrael, whatever. The sheetrock.
What were they, Khadijah? They were
Hebrew Israelites with the red kufi things on. What was
they? They were not Hebrew.
But they stole a lot of their shit. They was
but
they
who
the
they
same
called
lessons.
Moors.
Science of
There
America.
was more Science of America. Remember?
It was all come to me, but they stole a lot of Hebrew stuff.
we you know, they were pretty funny to me.
Yeah, they was funny.
I mean, I really enjoyed hanging with them. I mean, I didn't want to join them, but they were funny.
Too, like in a good way.
They partied. Yeah, we really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Who else could these?
We already did your Black Muslim Bakery.
Yeah. How did you feel about your time at the bakery?
I enjoyed my bakery fine. I enjoyed everything about it. I enjoyed the spirit of Oakland, to be honest. Spirit of Oakland, just a lot of Black activities going on. Dr. Bay was funny as hell. So, you know, I enjoyed the bakery. That was a good experience. So we just woke up like, you ready to move home? We woke up with that. You ready to go back home?
We did wake up one morning. It was like, we leaving.
And my best part, I call it my Malcolm X experience, is when the Muslims from the bakery stood up against the police. It was the whole line of Muslim YBMB Muslims and the mosque and just the neighborhood brothers and everybody stood against the police, Oakland PD, and they would not come into the apartment complex that was owned by. That shit was like Malcolm X 30, and them cops back down. I thought that was that was the energy that even made me want to move to the Bay. Yeah, Dr. Bay used to come down here to the the little shows we used to take stuff like that, and that's how he saw the work. Y'all come down here and work with me and build. And so it was just the energy like, fuck that, we finna take out. That's was because I was on go. I get tired of. That's why it wasn't until the 2000s, like 2019, 18, that I went on my first ever march. And that's when you was about to speak at the Breonna Taylor thing. Because I'm just not really I'd rather be on the other side. I don't really want to march and hold up signs and shit. That's just not my energy. Now, what's
the purpose of a march anyway?
I think it brings awareness or attention. I think that's the purpose. But purpose without action is just a waste of time. So
wait, say that again.
Purpose. What I say?
Say it again.
Purpose without action is a waste of time. So you sitting there trying to get attention, hey, pay attention. We got a reason here, and then you don't do shit to back it up. It's a waste of time. So people get out there, they got nice signs and good chants, that make them rhyme and everything, and then they get back and don't do shit. So getting attention, purpose without action is nothing.
Do you think Black people want to always feel some fucking kind of way, but don't really
follow
it through?
They punks. Black people, I love us, but we get some fucking cowards. We rather march and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not saying go rush the Capitol or no shit. But don't white people wholeheartedly on January 6th believe that shit. They're ready to die, kill, steal. They was ready to ride. We ain't there yet. So that's why we make up all this shit. That's why we will schedule protests after protest. That's why we will protest in March and protest. And then we'll create all these different nonprofits. We really only need one nonprofit. We need an organization, since y'all hate the police so much. You need one big ass nonprofit to one part can be the neighborhood police. One part can deal with all the single mothers. One part can deal with shooting. We can do our own shit. We need one big ass nonprofit. But these 399 nonprofits that all deal with gun violence and shit, it's and they all vying for attention on 40. But they all vying for attention on 43, 10, and 13. It is crazy. Like that's my activist.
I think white people get a kick out of shit. What these niggas doing today? What they marching for now? Sis, I think they really. I
know we ain't gonna do shit. Yeah. I know that. I know they know we going. Let's do this. Niggas about to march. They be laughing.
Hey, if they go
because you gotta go put your permit in. This is my thing with the whole. We want to disturb the shit. Okay. They go put in permits to march. What are you disturbing? You got permission. That's what killed me. I had to schedule my time to do a rally. Wait a minute. The revolution will be televised because these motherfuckers is out there with the cameras and their cell phones, and they schedule times to go have rally and protests and marches. So how spontaneous, shock the man is that? Nigga, you have an appointment for your anger and your outburst. Get your ass out of here. That's why they laugh. That is why they laugh at us. Because I laugh. I chuckle. And you do all like I walk a whole lot. I'm not gonna be walking up and down here and these motherfuckers they throw some tear gas and then we mad at them. Your permit time was up. Yeah, your certain time to get your permit and it's up. Kick rocks, get your ass back in order, Mr. Revolutionary, back to power, black ass, and get your ass off.
We haven't had any rallies because no cops has shot a Black person, but Black people have been killing each other.
Yeah. So. Well, I know. I just experienced an activist who was upset with me for thanking a white DA for imprisoning 2 people who killed my bonus son.
Right.
And they were upset because I wanted to tell that man, thank you for getting a conviction. Why you want to thank this white man like locking up niggas? I said, well, I'm glad he locked up these 2 niggas because they took a life. So thank you. But we get so mixed up in hating the white man that we don't understand these 2 brothers, even though they were Black, took a life of a vet. And the other thing is, this person took a life of, he was a businessman. So he wasn't nobody that nonprofit could have pimped anyway. He did. He wasn't shot by the police. He wasn't. He also just got full custody of his daughter. So there was no community angle give me funding because I helped this downtrodden. There was no angle to get nothing from this person. So I maybe dealing with us thought they was going to get something, but then when they didn't get what they wanted, it became I didn't get the recognition, or it became a whole issue. I was there for your family. It was just crazy. So people are in this shit for the wrong reasons, and we do not value Black lives unless it's killed by a police officer or killed by a white person. Black on Black crime, none of these activists are there. Real for real. You're not there for the Black on Black crime. You show up at court, you seem supportive, but on the flip side, you have an ulterior motive. I'm here to expose all that shit. I'm here to expose it all. Don't get caught up in the bottom line. People are doing this shit and keeping records and pictures because it's a way to get funding. Let's keep it gutter. That's why they have there were nonprofits that you didn't know. You just know about the nonprofit, and word of mouth got you the people to come to you for the real need, not this social media shit, not your nonprofit page that always show you out doing shit that you say you do for free, but you're really doing it to get funding. No cap. Stop the shit. Like, just say I'm doing this, but I want to get paid. And I'm mad at other niggas who getting paid.
So do you think white people need to because we really respect white people. That's why I'm saying white people. Do you think white people need to maybe put us into a system where we can be more productive? Because it seems like we were very productive in slavery.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think we're already in the system and we're less productive. We're already in the system. Right now we have the system of nonprofit pimping. Okay. It has become like a whole new, it's like we have social media influencers. We have activists who are really poverty pimps disguised as activists, because real activists don't have time to tell you they're activating. Like, they just get the fuck active and handle it.
Right.
So real activists don't have the time to say, I'm an activist. They're actively doing shit. Gotcha. So yeah, it's just they have the prison that's in place to help you be productive. There are certain things already in place to help Black people be productive.
I mean, what do we do with the niggas that don't have any real sense of direction? Like, when I see people marching, I feel like they should march their ass right into like a factory and make them motherfuckers go to work. I think they should march their ass to the schoolyard. Like, I really think they should be guided somewhere because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a direction missing.
Absolutely, Jamon. I agree. That's why I said systems are already in place. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah.
But will the rollback be? Hey Jay, will the rollback, is that a bad thing or could it be a good thing?
It depends. Like I said the other day, some people need structure and someone to tell you, wake up at this time. Now brush your teeth at this time. Put your clothes on. Go to work from this time to this time. Now come home. Some people need that, or else they wouldn't brush their fucking teeth. They wouldn't go to work. I'm just being. Some people need the day-to-day structure. That's why some of these organizations are needed. Marching and protesting is good to help people channel whatever they're doing. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but some people need to get that. That's how they can get their point across. I get it. March, they got strong legs, probably good lungs.
They could be building a house or some shit.
Hey, I get it, but if protesters, go ahead and protest. I don't knock nobody for however they express their unhappiness or their whatever. Do you? But that's not don't down people because they're not missing work to come march in the fucking streets under your permit. Okay. Don't knock people. Everybody got a different role. So yeah, take their role. Let me do my role.
Okay, Javon said we would be forced to be in a collective.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Eventually. But I think we're going to have some say in it. It's like, because we're not all the same. There's right now, Black people are so diverse, there's no way we can be a collective. We don't even know who's Black anymore. So how are we going to be a collective when we can't even identify? Unless we're going to go through DNA, then a lot of motherfuckers are going to be eliminated. I don't care how Black the experience you feel. If they really go through DNA, people will be eliminated.
I agree. I also think people who are clearly Black the way we're clearly Black, I don't want them motherfuckers with me because these bitches is lazy. I mean, sure, there are some people, Khadijah, blacker than me and you sitting here, and these motherfuckers they are bigger slaves.
Oh yeah, they make the slave. Yeah.
They are like, I'm thinking about, I mean, slave. And I always remember, and I really do remember this with Jay when she was like, I want to live in a community amongst people. We talked about today who are like me.
Yeah, like mine.
I want somebody that cut their grass so they can, what I'm saying. I don't want to live next to Shamika.
That's why I don't think it's going to be like a whole everybody Black. It's going to be particular. It's got to be because we can't thrive the way it's going now. They can't collectively make this whole state Black people. Because I don't want some of these niggas in my state. It's just I'm being honest. We just don't. Talk. So, but yeah, we ain't gonna have a choice in a minute.
That's real talk.
Yeah, a lot. Javon say it again, and we know Black people live this shit. If they really separate us, everybody want to be Black, because everybody else will be bored of shit.
Yeah.
We lit. Even in
I
our
think it's coming right
brokenness,
now.
we lit.
I think it's coming right now. I think that I don't know. I think Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump. This is just my disclaimer, family. I think Donald Trump was divinely sent here to make this shit. Like, you can break every rule in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And still be who you want to be. I'm not trying to be funny because it ain't us coming for Donald Trump. It's the Democrats and white liberals who are really coming for him. And I feel like every time they get this nigga a new charge, he get more followers. I know people who said they're gonna vote for him. They don't give a damn what they convict this fool of. They can convict them on food stamp fraud. They still gonna be out there like, I'm voting for Donald J. Trump. So it's kind of like I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like black folks gotta stop being so goddamn scared, because it feel like we're scared. You know what I mean? And I'm not. Look here.
What more can be done to us? To be honest. Well, I'm gonna take that back.
I can't really see this. I wear glasses.
Let me see. When the only way you can eat is from your neighbor.
That's true.
Yeah.
But something, and I agree with you, Jay. I'm just saying, some of us, we got real niggas. That's all I can say.
It's a different breed out here. It's just like the other day we was talking. There are niggas and black people. They look the same, like a crocodile and an alligator. From far away, it looks the same, but one of them has, the triangle mouth. The other one has a. So they look the same, but you got to get up closer. You have to be in their environment to be able to tell the difference. So you be like, "Oh, hey, brother," and they look at you like, "Brother." You know what I mean? So we look the same, but we're not the same, and we got to be able to be
okay. Here's
clear.
My next question for you. What do we do about the black people like Joy Reid and the sister who is, the woman who is the spokesperson for Biden? Now, these two women are Haitian Americans. They're black. Mm-hmm. What do we do with the black people like that who would want us to believe in a system that is not working for us as descendants of as Africans who were enslaved in America, if you will, or ADOS? But these people are black immigrants. What do we do about that or them?
Well,
not say like that, but
Well, what we do with them, we remind them that they don't have the same history that we have. So when they come with that, all the opportunities in America, those was afforded to your people who came over here as immigrants, not to those that came over here to be enslaved. So I have to remind them of who they are. First of all, we don't have the same story. You are here by way of choice. Because you can always take your ass back where you was from, speak your language, and go to your village or your cottage, where the fuck you was at. So when people, I have to remind people, no, I'm being honest. So you have to remind people of who they are. As people I know, well, we're first generations over here, and we went to Harvard and all that. They
came over here with advanced degrees, a lot of them.
And they come over here and get all kind of college paid and benefits and everything, where the people who mom and dad sharecropped here, ancestors were enslaved here. They don't have medical. They have to pay for college. They got fucking grant. So we got to remind them that you came here off the back of my ancestors. So you should really be saying thank you and not trying to tell me how I should view white people. Sit the fuck down, have a seat, and mind your business, and just do what Biden or whoever tell you to do. Because at this point, you're just the coon. Don't tell you to do. Fall in line, nigga, and say what I told you to say.
Because I feel like that's coming. Yeah. I feel like, because what white people like to do, some people like to do, they like to pull them niggas out. Mm-hmm. Like, go ahead, Joyless Reed, or Joy Reid, sorry. And she'll be like, and she'll be like, girl, why are you so afraid of affirmative action?
And why? Where's your accent? Where's your accent?
Well, Roland Martin's Haitian too.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's.
Or they call him. I said, don't call him Rolanda, because that's my name. Call him Rolita or some shit, but don't call him Rolanda, because that's my name. Yeah. But all of these people are immigrants. All of them are Haitian or Caribbean. And y'all know me, I fight for black folks. Mm-hmm. Like, I love us. But my thing is, I don't want to fight for people who will not fight for us.
Well, let me ask you this. You've been to most of those places.
I sure the fuck have.
How are the people that look like you treated on those continents?
Not
because they're here telling us about unity.
Okay, so let me just say this. As a Africa, let me just start with Africa, because the Caribbeans are a little different or whatever. Hey, whatever. But in Africa, they had something called colonialism. And that shit to me was worse than being kidnapped. To me. See, we can render Africa however we want in our subconscious. Like, Africa, that's what we do. We was over there living lovely, and the white man came. That's not what the fuck happened.
Right now, we was over there. Africa think they say you don't bathe and clean your kids up and wipe their nose and comb
some
hair.
Of them don't.
Okay,
and some of them do. Okay. And they also have all the systems that white people have here. Over there. They have there. So you have Africans. You have Africans enslaving other Africans. Let's keep it all. But don't tell me slavery wasn't the same. Y'all love the romanticized shit when we do it to each other. Nobody wants to be belonging to somebody else. Nobody as a slave. You know what I mean? Even now you go there, people got health servants and shit. Like, where they do that at? Maybe because I belong to people who were enslaved in this country. So I'm not really seeing the love. You paying somebody fucking 250 rand a goddamn a week, and What?
What is that
13 rand is $1 American.
Mm.
Now you do the math. This person's making 250 rand a month.
Slavery right there. Yeah.
Right. But these are all the black people.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, I just feel like, I know Africa is the cradle of civilization, don't get it twisted, but I also believe that they are just, white people did not create themselves. Newsflash, don't get mad at me. Okay? Y'all mad at white people because they was very good at what they really believed in whiteness.
Mm-hmm.
They worked the shit. Don't get mad at them. Be mad at your motherfucking self because you can't work blackness. Okay? So my thing is, no, I feel like they're not going to save us. It is not our job to save them.
Absolutely.
To be very honest with you. But I feel like when you come here, I feel like you should be paying a special tax to be here. Absolutely. And if a government was smart, they will make all these immigrants pay a special tax and then get that shit to us, since they don't want to write a check out of the treasury. So that's one way. That's one way of getting some money to give us. I think if you could find another, they have a clerical error in accounting at the fucking Pentagon, and now they have a couple of extra $100 billion to get to Ukraine.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? You could give that billions of dollars to reparations because you know you owe us. But because the white man is such good with his technology, he would rather give it to Julius Reed and the other African immigrants that are here and the Caribbean immigrants that are here, because they don't want to give it to the descendants of enslaved people that you know you owe for real.
Yep.
And Africans going to do what they did on the continent. They're going to undercut the other African, because we only do sisters and brothers because of the white man. We were not sisters and brothers in Africa. I don't know how to tell people this. You know what I mean? That's like my family. This is my sister right here. I meet another black woman. How you doing? But they ain't my fucking sister. I don't even know this heifer. So in Africa, they don't have sister brother thing. That's some bullshit. They don't do that. That is a result of us being kidnapped and enslaved or purchased, because some of us were selling people. Let's not get it twisted. Here, so we got thrown together.
Why Javon said sometimes we have to. We're forced. At that time, we're forced to be brothers and sisters over here.
Look,
that's what Javon. Yeah,
the white man is such a pimp. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. Do you know Nigeria? Like, reason why they fight all the time is because all of those tribes, they're not one group of people. So the white man made Nigeria. He told them motherfuckers, y'all are now Nigerians. And that's why the Igbos are always fighting the Hausas and then the Yorubas. And then that's just 3 tribes. They got a whole bunch of fucking tribes. But the white man was so gangster that he made them all together. And that's like me coming to you and say, this ain't your house no more. This is Rolanda land. And you be like, bitch, I said. And he's like, this is Rolanda land. That's gangster.
Hell yeah. Yep. I'm trying to read.
Yeah. So we're going to separate. Jay, look here. I think separation is coming. But what I'm coming to learn about the separation word, sometimes we're going to be separating with people that may not be the people who we thought we were going to separate with. When I tell you that I follow certain bloggers that I know are racist as shit, but sometimes they be fighting groups that I need them to fight on my behalf. So I follow them. I comment on the shit that I agree with. And the stuff that I know is racist, I just scroll right on by.
Yeah.
Because they got enough strength to fight these people. I just don't have it like that. I don't have the power to. But so that's that strange bedfellow shit that I see happening so clearly. I see that so clearly. And I just separate. I can't really see. I got my glasses on.
People want separated breed.
Yeah.
I'm already doing that.
Yeah. We know you is, Jay. We know that. But I'm just saying, it's just, every day it's getting harder. We out here where there's a whole bunch of Russians in Ukraine. On my block, one neighbor is Ukrainian, the other one is Russian. I talk to these fools. They said both of the people is corrupt. That's why they over here. You know what I mean? You can tell that they different people because they don't look like the regular white people. You know what I mean? I mean, we have a couple of them. We have one next door who thinks she black because I guess her daughter father is black or something like that. I'm like, but I'm nice to her, you know, and Courtney talks all the time, but I'll be trying to make too much conversation because I don't think people doing ghetto shit don't make you black. It just means you like ghetto shit because that's not black. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, them BET Awards. You still didn't see, bro?
I'm not watching that shit. Just keep sending me clips. I'm not watching that. I'm not interested. I don't know any of the damn artists except for probably Buster. I'm just not interested in seeing a bunch of people with bras, pasties on, thongs, a bunch of men with nail polish and fucking platform heels like Kiss and RuPaul. I'm just not interested in seeing none of that.
Do you think it's a good thing that Tyler Perry bought BET?
I hope so, but he put everybody in the goddamn dress on his show too. I hope. I don't know how much of a difference we think we're gonna get with Tyler Perry. A lot of his movies, very, very rarely do he make movies where we really something positive, maybe one or two, but he do a lot of coon shit too in his movies. So I hope it's better. I hope he can at least shape the coonery where we don't know it's coonery. Like this shit is embarrassing. Like,
well, it didn't feel diverse to me.
Oh yeah,
like you know what I'm
BET is
saying?
not
Like
diverse.
you know, now I'll tell you this: they did have an Afrobeat artist, and he was really good. Now maybe because you know his mama and them was watching.
Exactly.
You feel me? And he got on that stage, and it was pretty good. Like he had girls when they looking normal and all that kind of. It was really nice. You know what I mean? So who's that?
Yeah, I don't know any of them people. I
didn't either. Somebody put on the Facebook that said, I got my subtitles on so I can understand what they're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Does that mean that our day, what does that mean for us as older people?
That we older? That's all it means. And we know real music.
Did we have people like them when we were young?
A couple, but they still, even the most garbage rappers back then still had lyrics and said words.
Give me an example.
Right now,
who do we have? We had Two by Crew.
In my 6-4. That's easy because he's garbage to me. I love you. Sorry. Easy was garbage to me. But now these rappers don't even say full words. It's like, they don't, it's total. That's why they have the subtitles on. It's totally, even then they tried to tell a story. It may not have been the best story, but they had words. They had a plot, a solution, and a chorus. They don't have any
like
of
they
that.
rap about a lot of drugs right now.
Right now it's about drugs, killing, prostitute. This is a song with a girl talking about eating a man's anal.
Oh, Jesus.
And she's very proud of it.
She's just right about eating chitlins.
She's very proud of it. So that's that kind of music. Now we have Pop That Coochie with Luke and them back then, but that was just, that's just pop that you still had your clothes on, but she talking about the inner cavities of somebody's buttocks. Now that's a little bit, that's very ratchet nasty. No, I'm being honest. So, and that's the kind of culture that our youth, unfortunately, are embraced, or that's the only hip hop they know. That's not fucking hip hop.
Do they know people all over the world see that shit?
I don't know. Some of them never left their zip code. So how would
now
they know that?
Yo-Yo was on there performing.
At least she tried.
Yo.
I'm not a hell though. No, but that was one of her lyrics.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo even tried for the West Coast. She wasn't a Queen Latifah for nobody, or MC Light, or Rod Digger, none of them. But she tried. Even she wasn't like, my butt, you naked. She tried. Now everything is about that WAP song, wet ass P word.
What?
Yeah, heard that somebody grandma party first time.
Wet ass.
Wet ass pussy. Excuse me, y'all.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, they have that. So that's the kind of songs that they have out now. And this person that wrote that song just got her degree and everything. So she out here telling people about that way at people. But she took her by the way to college and got her something. You know what I mean? So music is the culture that we have now. It just promotes ratchetness. Yes, I'm trying to say it promotes drugs, sex, and money and killing. Yeah. Some of these songs, I'm always watching the true crime stuff and the viral crimes. A lot of these songs they be talking about smoking on something. We thinking it's a brand of weed. They're not actually naming people in that community that died. So when they saying they smoking on something and they name a name, it's a person in their community, another rap artist that was killed and shot. So this shit is like that's a whole. You got to be careful listening to me. That's why I want to listen to none of this shit because I don't want to be, listen. I like the beat to the song, and he talking about somebody dead relative. This music.
So
is garbage.
One of the things that happened to me when I was in Philly, like a week and a half ago, I got lost getting off the freeway because part of the freeway was cut off. Like you had to get off before whatever, and I got into a section of the city that looked like Skid Row, and there were people literally like standing up like this.
Oh, that's this new stuff out.
It's called lean.
Mm-hmm.
Lean. Trank.
Oh, yeah,
Trank. And I was like, what the hell is trank? But I guess that's horse tranquilizer. And so people be looking like zombies. They're gonna be
standing straight up, yeah.
Like for long grass, it just looked horrible where I was. So, of course, immediately I got the hell out of where I was. I was like, I'm going to reset this damn GPS. And I was like, I don't care. I got to get the hell out of here. I'd never seen nothing like that before. So I had never seen nothing like that before. But it just seems like it's getting worse to a degree in terms of, damn, crack. It's going to make crack look like they're smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, crack ain't. The shit they got out now, fentanyl, first of all, is killing people. So
they lean and never fall. That's exactly the truth. I've never seen like that. So I'm just saying there is a whole culture that let me ask you this. Consider that we
have it here about loaves and fishes. They right down there just
so we looked at like the BET. I'm just saying BET was like a temperature check, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like I look at BET awards like That's what it would look like if all the black people with some sense left these niggas alone. That's the best way I can describe BET. Now they need to have a separate award show where you can't bring none of that shit in here. Because that's also a test for us. Like, I was watching this. I went to see Patti LaBelle's tribute.
Devon said that posture is now disfiguring people from leaning and they are having open wounds.
Wow. See, I just know it looks scary as shit. I ain't never seen nothing like that. All the times I've been, from Philly, I'd never seen that part of Philadelphia. You know, I was totally lost. I had to get off the freeway because part of it was closed because it was some kind of accident or whatever. So now that we've seen that whole thing with the BET, and I also feel like that's kind of what people be saying. Don't take your kids out of public school because what's gonna happen to the kids is there. Either they're gonna get better or they're gonna get worse. I don't know what to tell y'all ass, but it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, what happened if you left that segment alone?
And that, they would die off and kill each other off if we let that segment alone, because it's a kill culture. It's a destructive, demeaning culture. So eventually it would just die off. If everybody just had their own little section of it, it would die off.
Because I think that's coming too. I think that's really coming. Because like I said, and then I felt bad for Patti LaBelle. Let me just say this about Patti LaBelle. Not because she's from the same hometown I'm from, but can you imagine being in that energy trying to sing a goddamn song? And even though I love me some Tina Turner, no disrespect, Tina Turner didn't even go to none of these black award shows.
Never.
Ever. I read a whole post about that. And so we remember Tina Turner because, we love her.
Because she's Tina.
You know what I'm saying? But, so Patti LaBelle forgot the words. So what? Like,
you're trying to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, my thing is, how could you perform in that kind of energy? You know what I mean? She there looking classy as shit because she think it's the BET award. She didn't know this was the slut nightclub pole dancing awards. Like,
there were so many other artists that are up and coming, because they had a lot of up and coming artists on there that they could have put on there.
I don't know how they gonna have that as
good music. I
don't know how they act like that's woman empowerment. That's what fucked me up. I mean, every rapper
it's a man
there
telling her you look powerful when your nipples is out and I can see your coochie hairs. I'm telling you, a lot of these women out here are being promoted by men who are using the woman's sexuality and lack thereof self-esteem and self-love to go out there and ain't nobody that love themselves gonna go out there and look like that. That shit they all look like
now. Some of them gonna be like what's it, a swollen head? What his name is?
Who? That swollen head. Wait, who you talking about?
What the video all the men? They call it Waterhead or
who?
Video Vixen.
Oh, this one said Waterhead. Corinne Stevens or Stephens.
Then they gonna have a book about their time. Like somebody said, Trina looked like she was pregnant. I don't know. I don't know Trina. I don't know Trina.
That's the baddest bitch. No.
Yeah, I don't know Trina. But my thing is, that's somebody said. I guess she looked okay. I mean, I don't know these people.
Well, oh, she had a little pudgy. That's another thing. Because she felt pressure to put on that ass dress, nobody would knew her stomach had got big as she went one dress size up. I'm being honest.
She should be like Janet Jackson.
Something flowy.
Janet do a lot of flowy shit.
She married that
Muslim But her and Busta should not do that song together no more like that. I'm gonna tell you that. Like, I love Busta and I love Janet. But that was like watching your grandmama and granddaddy be sexual. Like, oh, come on, y'all. No, hey. Like, do that, say that shit for the bedroom. Just kiss each other. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, I was like, what the fuck wrong with Janet? I love me some Janet, but I was like, Janet, cut it. Only person gonna be 50 years old doing some shit like that is Tina Turner.
Right.
And Tina gone. She done left the building.
I don't.
But I'm just saying, so I'm not looking. I said I felt bad for Patti LaBelle. I really did because she really is old. I felt bad
for anybody over the age of 35. I felt because I'm for out of
Bobby Jones, he gave it. Did you see his face?
That was the girl. Oh God! Did y'all hear the song the girl was singing by Bobby Brown?
No.
She was saying how her PUSSY is pink and her booty hole is brown, and she like booty hole with a stack of. I was like, that's like in front of your goddamn grandpa. Like we have
zero. See his face. He looked like a typical gay man.
She probably didn't even smell good.
Like he was like this.
Like Little Richard.
I felt that, but I felt his ass. Yeah. I was like, I felt embarrassed. Like I was like, oh my God, sir, I'm so sorry. Like if I'm responsible for this shit.
They was out of pocket.
That shit was comedy. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Out of pocket. It was straight up comedy. I couldn't stop laughing myself.
They still have the Soul Train Awards or anything? Anybody know that?
But the Soul Train Awards is doing good.
I don't even know
because that's also what somebody wrote a piece and said there was a woman who used to be over BET.
I'm gonna find it.
And she wasn't there. And so they were saying, well, you don't have gatekeepers.
And they try to say all the writers were on strike. I'm like, y'all already had these guest books.
So y'all went to the strip club and got a whole bunch of writers?
They want the P-Value soundtrack. But they already had these goddamn stars, but had nothing to do with the writers.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the writers. But yeah, y'all just
I
promote,
just
y'all
felt like
promote
that's the
ratchet music.
BET Awards, and I just felt bad for BET. BET has always been somewhat garbage. Let's just be honest. It has not been since Our Voices and Bev Smith. Like, y'all don't talk about news on there.
Yeah.
Y'all talk about shit on there. Y'all, y'all, it really not a lot
Ever
going
since
on.
they added BET After Dark, it went downhill.
Yeah, so it just really hasn't been all that good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, I must say that I think we got to cut our losses. It's kind of like this year, a lot of people should just cut their losses. Like, they should just get a whole new team and go, I don't know. Maybe Oscar So White don't look as bad, because I'd rather watch Oscar So White than that shit I seen on BET.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And maybe knowing black folks is not going to win, but at least they're going to be on there with some fucking dignity and respect.
Like, I want to see a real. You used to watch the BET Awards to watch a performance. Like, it was to watch something, not to watch the whole audience up dancing with stripper clothes on, and the music don't make it. Doesn't, you don't get the story out the music. You don't get. You used to watch it for entertainment. No stars.
There was no stars there.
The TikTok people was the stars.
You winning your award, but you ain't winning in front of Michael Jackson or like great people. Like, oh my God, I met Whitney Houston. I'm gonna say that they did. I'm gonna say, but you used to be big stars. You get to have your shine in front of people that you watched your whole life. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's not what that was like. Bloggers, like, who the fuck is a blogger? Like, who is Lotto? Who the fuck is a Lotto ticket? Like, who the fuck?
Well,
is
it's short for Mulatto. Her real name was Mulatto. She was on a rap game. She was on a rap game with Jermaine Dupri. He didn't pick her. He didn't pick her, did he? Yeah, he didn't pick her. So she went and got butt implants and lips done so she could look more than. And then she came out, dropped the Mulatto. She was trying to tell y'all, I'm Nick, so accept me. But she just dropped that off and put Lotto. It's not Lotto like the lottery. Ain't no slang for lottery. It's for Mulatto. Yep.
Yeah, I said, who is non-talented ass
got the Ice Spice. She looks like Ronald
Who the
McDonald.
fuck is that? She's ugly as shit.
Yeah, she's very.
No, for real, she look like albino shit.
It's like they want.
Oh shit!
God, Javon, her dad is black and her mom is white, right?
Yeah.
That's the top part of the self-hatred we talking about. Her dad named her Mulatto.
Yeah, with his dumb ass self. He probably black like fucking Thousand Midnights.
He
fuck out of here. I'm so sick of that shit. What an ugly self. But there was some other bitches on there looking funky too. I mean, it's a whole bunch of these niggas. It was just getting worse as the night went on. I was like, what the fuck going on? Like,
yeah, I watched the rap game and she was on it too, but she also perpetuated that mixed culture too, Javon. Yeah. She most definitely did. She did. Even though she was a kid, she most definitely promoted that mulatto-ness.
And my thing is, then she was like, I want to celebrate. And then she won awards. Like, for what? Like, that's when you know, like, this shit is. Okay, Beyonce won awards and she wasn't even there. Beyonce making $2.5 billion from a tour. Okay, she ain't got time to be on fucking BET with niggas. Fuck, I mean,
she's making money.
She out there helping her daughter. Come on now, come on, girl.
Busting on her daughter. You see how they went on her daughter?
I know.
Baby, only what 11, 12.
She don't give a fuck. She
like,
dancing before more audience than motherfuckers ever dreamt of. So
right.
Go ahead, baby. I'll be out there. I stop every time I sit back. I like that. I'm please. I'm not even a Beyonce fan like that. I'm like, girl, go ahead and do your family, girl. Go ahead and do you. Because you're making $2.5 billion from a tour.
She went up to Dubai.
Not from a tour, but a tour.
Yeah. She went over to Dubai and made $1 billion in one night.
Yeah.
So get on Beyonce level.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all tripping. So anyway, yeah, I forgot all about Beyonce and her daughter, but I love that every time I see it. They always
picking with that girl. She was just like her day.
I also think her and Jay-Z they're like in a whole nother atmosphere that people can't get with. So we try to tear them down and talk about their kids and what we think they should look like. To me, she looks just like both of them.
She look like
when you see Beyonce with a little, So it's kind of like, why y'all hating on them? Like, if you don't like your life, you know what I'm saying? Drink some lean in your shit, or get your life right and try to get on that level. But you don't get the right, because I think Jay-Z has left the ghetto niggas a long time ago.
Yeah, he done.
I think he has left them so long ago. You know what I'm saying? And I think instead of realize somebody has passed you
and
up.
in life, you're supposed to elevate and change and grow and become somebody who something greater and better. Jay-Z should not be the same nigga that was ain't no nigga like the one out. He should be way past that. Yeah. And those who are not, don't be mad at him because he's elevated.
Go get that 444 album and bring the game up.
Right.
Because he did try to give y'all game in the 444, believe it or not. I mean, I really think he tried. But I also think the rap game is kind of dying a little bit to a degree. I ain't talking about the underground rappers. But I just feel like it is dying a little bit. And I also think the rap game is showing to us how fucked up some of our community really is. You know what I mean? Because I also think that's a part of dying. You know, usually when you're in the fucked up world, you kind of do die. Like your shit just start falling apart. It's like you lose a leg, then an arm, then your eyeball pop out. That's what the fuck we had in hip hop.
And this time is no different than we were younger when gangster rap was out and we still had the conscious artists, but the conscious artists didn't get airplay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's the same thing now, but now it's just like even times 1,000 because you know we got more. We only had a few people back then that was doing that, but now almost everybody that's out there, music is garbage. You know, or pumping poison or something negative. So the people that's conscious don't get any type of airplay.
Hold on, can y'all see this? Let me see. I'm trying to move it up. Hold on, maybe I'll bring it back. No,
you trying to do it yourself. You
got that. It's because I got the bleary thing. I can't do it. But y'all, this is Bobby Jones. You have to see his face. Look at his face. He looking straight ahead, like, but his homeboy looking like what? Because he's not. Yeah, you know, like, but the woman, like but the lady. Well, I was trying to show it because the woman is pregnant. Her belly is out there. It's
Krishan Rock, Blueface baby mama.
Oh my god! I say I don't know these people.
Yeah, I only know them because they be on all over goddamn Instagram.
But I just was like, oh
she
my
got
god.
a tooth missing. His face is tattooed right here. She got a tooth missing. Tooth got knocked out. She pop it out and talk, and then she pop it back in. It's ratchet. Anyway, go ahead.
Do you feel like though this is like the end? Like you know how when something's real messed up,
you gotta demolish
we dress it up, but when something's really falling apart, you have to really see it fall apart.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
A little bit. It's going a little deeper. Say it again.
So no, for real. No, for real. You know how like somebody, like for instance, okay, that's like somebody telling me about lean and me driving down that street in Philly and seeing lean.
Okay, got you.
And I'd be like, why the fuck is everybody linked over? Like, you know, like a trick.
Push everybody the hell over.
Yeah, but I feel like the BET Awards really showed that.
BET Award is
that's a culture. No, but yeah, but it's
they lean
it's trank basically at this point. It's like we know that this has always been a problem, but when we dress up things and make excuses for why people are like this, it gets bigger. Instead of saying, y'all out of fucking pocket, we not playing y'all music no more. We're gonna come up with laws. We're gonna use your lyrics to put your ass in jail because I believe in that. I believe you.
Well, they have that now. It's a Rico.
Yeah, but now but now they're fighting for it to not be used against them. The lyrics.
No,
and I'm like, no, I'm gonna be right on the other side fighting to be like, lock these niggas up. I just feel like now we may have to count on the white man to come up with laws to end this shit because evidently we're not capable of doing the shit. We don't respect each other enough to be like, don't do that. That's like back in the day. If I was on a bus stop and the elder walked up, I would stop cussing. Yeah, I would stop cussing in front of them. That's one. And two, I would give them the seat. Like, just, hey, Miss Ma'am. Then she get on the bus and then she drive off. We back in motherfucking but I grew up with that. You know what I'm saying? So,
but you didn't just grow up and learn that. That was the people, the parents, the elders, the community taught you that. There are no people in our community telling people when they're not doing something that's okay.
But did that come from the mother who did not, or father? I'm just saying mothers because usually fathers aren't there. I'm not letting men off the hook. I only because we talk to mom. But you know how some mothers condone all kind of bad fucking behavior. You go up to the school, because I work in a lot of schools. You come up to the continuation school that your kid is going to, because they can go to regular fucking school. He missed school. Then you're going to come up there and act like you will cuss somebody the fuck out because your kid is late and your kid is fighting. And you're like, they don't care shit about our kid. Bitch, this is your motherfucking kid.
How he even get here? Like,
you had this fool. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Dude. You said you would. You didn't just happen to get on the bus and know automatically let me get up and stop cussing. That come from who raised you and the people in your environment. We have nobody raising some people are not raising their children at all. That's why the mama get up there and let this boy act a plumb fucking fool. He probably cuss out at home. I'm just saying though. That's so true. You know, and so we don't.
What do we do with this population? Like this, I'm just gonna keep it all the way, but because I have nieces and nephews, you know, you have sons with that. I don't want them motherfuckers with my.
Well, he go to school with him every day. I mean, he go to Monterey Charlie a little bit, but he goes to school with people who I see at lunchtime. And I be like, oh my god, because I go up there and volunteer, and it'd be like it's a whole lot on this campus going on. But you have to. It's just really important to instill in your child that. Now we went to school with people that was fucking. I had a girl that graduated 6th grade with a big pregnant belly.
Yeah.
So it's not like it didn't happen, but it wasn't my mama. I couldn't go hang at her goddamn house. I couldn't go to no baby shower. I'm just being honest. I couldn't go to no baby shower. So it's been around the beginning of the time. It's really about what you instill in your children and then how you're active in their lives and present in their lives so you can know what's going on. And then when they get older, hopefully they make the right decision to do something different. But they're here. I don't know what to do with them.
Michelle said we used to hide from the elderly when we did something wrong. You ain't never lied. My mama, look here, we lived on the block. And if something went wrong, it's like the whole fucking block knew before we even got on,
Right.
which was so goddamn embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And my mama would be like, "You ain't gonna make me look like no goddamn fool." Like
Right.
my mother was worried about her own image because she knew what she instilled in us.
Absolutely.
It was like report card time,
and it was things we wouldn't do because we didn't want to disappoint our mom. Not that we couldn't get away with it, and she might have never known.
Right.
But I didn't want my mom to be disappointed in some fuck shit I was doing, and she taught me better.
That's your
so I did not want to disappoint her. And children now they don't give a fuck about disappointing their parents. They don't even have any loyalty or any. They
so
know
what do we
no
suggest we do to the
parents in classes, all kind of shit. They should have somebody over them like almost like a CPS worker. I'm dead ass serious. Like somebody have to be accountable if your child miss days and do what they don't complete this. It should be something for the parents who children.
Do you think people should have like tubes tied?
Absolutely. If you produce more than one child for the penum system, automatically tubes tied. If you do certain things, absolutely, they gotta yeah.
So another way, we need more strenuous laws because we live in a society where people can't really.
And you shouldn't be able to be on welfare and have 10 kids and you never had a job. And we just every time you get a kid, we up your age. That's crazy. It should be a cutoff limit. So you don't realize I gotta go out and work and make this money because.
So tell me about this handmaiden. And do you think we should be in a society like that?
Hell no, I'm just like handmaiden is
that's Javon's show too.
Yeah, handmaiden. It's so much to unpack. They handmaidens. They made to give birth. That's the best way to put it. People doing that now, but they ain't caring for their children.
Right. So I just feel like, and I know. See, my thing is,
we do need a lot of mental health.
We do, but you know what? I think even
crazy people have some sense.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say that
I think, and I agree with you. So I agree with mental health. I'm gonna tell you something. I think we have this magical ability to take something take it somewhere like mental health, and every time we don't do shit we supposed to, we gonna blame it on that shit.
That's like systematic racism.
Oh my god,
mental health.
We should put words, but words you cannot use to come in this community.
Judge not.
Yeah,
the Bible. That's another thing people say. Well, you can't judge. Yeah,
that's
mental health is rampant. I have mental health issues every day. Waking up as a black woman in America, I have mental health issues every day. Waking up every day, I got to send my 6'4", 16-year-old son with a beard out of my eyesight. I have mental health issues. It's a strain on me. I'm procrastinating him getting his license because I'm afraid he's gonna get pulled over. I have mental health every day as a black woman, so that's why mental health. Like I know somebody that has mental health issues. She's always employed, keeps her place. She doesn't. But parents are deceased.
Moves all over the country.
Moves all over the country. So mental health, we need some mental health. Trust me, we do. Mm-hmm. But if you can tell me you need mental health, you may not need it. If you can tell me you crazy, then you know what the fix your crazy is. Like most people is crazy don't know they're crazy. If you can tell me you crazy, it's probably.
Do you think we would have these mental health issues to say we live in?
If we was on slavery,
Haiti. If we lived in like a poor African country. Do you think if we was in Latin America and all those people who are at the border right now coming in, do you think if we lived in those places, would we have the luxury to have mental health issues?
Absolutely not. Probably not.
Because right out of slavery, we had over 60 black towns, and I don't remember hearing no black people say, we just went through slavery. I'm going to need some mental health.
It's a reason.
Because I've been, being beaten, hung, and lynched. And
I saw my baby took away from me.
Yeah,
my mom just got hung. Yeah, we've been through some shit. That's why we just black people have become so excuse worthy. Like we have an excuse and a reason for everything.
But I understand mental health. I'm just saying I try to stay away from that. I try not to use certain words because I feel like we'll go, that's what it is, instead of being like, deal with your shit. Mm-hmm. Put the dick down.
Right? Yeah.
Put it down.
And they're like, right, some people in our community could be a domestic violence abuse, and they say, well, he got mental health problems. He ain't beat up no fucking man.
When he beat his maker, he can explain that to God.
He didn't go beat up a man in his mental health stage. He keep beating women only when he have mental health episodes. I'm just saying though. It's stuff that we say like that. That he ain't all there. Well, he only beats on his wife and his daughter.
Do you think we make excuses for men in the black community?
Absolutely. We make excuses for fuck shit in our community, period. For men, for women, but for men, but we make excuses because excuses is better than accountability. Because then we'd have to put our hand up and say, I'm guilty of that. People don't want to do that. So hell yeah, they make excuses.
Do you think moms should go to jail along with their sons?
Depends on what the crime is.
Okay.
Dead ass serious.
If their son was murdering people or sold a lot of crack.
How old was he when he committed the crime?
He was old enough to know better.
And when did he start his crime spree? See, like, I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
Okay.
If he was 16 and he was he was doing shit and little robberies, and the mom put her foot down and made this fool do what he had to do. Yeah, but if every time this fool get locked the fuck up, she paying his restitution and putting money on his books and taking care of his 2 kids he had with the 2 baby mamas, and she had every court case, and she paying for the attorney, lock her ass up with him, because clearly you support the criminality. Now the mama you did what you want, go take that shit back to the store, go do. Surely do no time, but the mom that condones all of the behaviors that cause him to continue this crime spree, lock her ass up too. Bye-bye. Seriously. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Okay, that's something to think about.
Absolutely.
What does it mean?
Because mothers can instill, as a mom, I can just hope my son grow up and make the correct decision that I instill in him. But sometimes you have no control over what you don't. Your child becomes an adult, you don't have any control over what moves they make and what decisions they choose to make, or how much of information that they retain that they're going to now go back and, it's like a file cabinet. All right, my mom talked about this was going to happen that day. Let me go through some people don't have the time to do that. They don't, you know what I mean? And they just do shit spontaneously because they don't have anything to go through their file.
Right. So, one of the things I remember in the movie Scarface is that when he tried to give his mother the money that he made illegally, she threw the shit back in his face. Mm-hmm. Do black mothers still do shit?
Some mothers do. Some mothers do give the money back. Get this out of here. But some mothers are hide that shit, like hide the dope in the house, hide the money in the closet. Go to church every Sunday though. Get a tie strapped in the motherfucker with the dope money. Probably even mothers. Some of them mothers of the church. I'm being completely honest.
No, that's true.
Some of them are mothers of the church, or they put their head wrap on and go to the mosque after Brother Jaheem just came and dropped off the drug money. So they put that damn garment on and go to church. Go to the mosque. I'm serious. So yeah, we have some black mothers who still uphold that. Like get that shit out of here. Not raise you to do that. Go get your ass a job.
I think they also believe in their premise of like. So here's my thing with religion. For real, I don't mean to go back to this, but I feel like
religion's a big part of the black community. So
I agree, but I'm just saying, in religion, usually supposed to be living by a faith that will make you better. So that's why they have those 10 commandments or the 42 naked confessions of Mayat or whatever, 10 commandments, whatever the hell, right? But these are all the things you're not supposed to do that mean that will make your life better here on earth, per se. But it could be like, thou shalt not kill. And then we kill somebody and be like, hey, I have to get my fucking money. Like there's this,
and then that same book will tell you to go repent, and then with the crime, the sin you just committed is forgiven. That same book tells you that too.
I know. I'm saying that's the confusing shit.
That's the stupidity of it all. That's why people got to stop taking these books for face value and take out things that may help you to be productive and grow. But you that book is it's too. You got to take out.
Does this say anything in these holy books about you being a good parent?
I don't know, because I don't know the holy books like that, but I know. I know good parents, and I know my mama was a good parent, so I try to emulate what she sees. And I see other parents who I've been fortunate enough to be around, so I emulate the good qualities they have, and I pick up some along my way. But yeah, no, there is no book that's going to tell you how to be a good parent, or this is the steps for the parenthood.
So what's the purpose of religion?
To keep you organized. That's why it's called organized religion, to give you some direction. Some people need it. Some people, like I said earlier, some people are totally lost in life, don't have any faith-based anything, just out here on the whim. Some people need religion to help them cope with life.
Why do we make the devil so real?
Because he is. But the devil it's not a spirit, it's a person. The devil is real. The devil is whoever you allow power over you in a negative way.
It just can't
could be food. The devil could be food when you keep eating. Like I keep eating these fucking frappes. That's the devil for me. The devil, I'm being honest, the devil come in all kind of forms. It depends on how you allow him to come in and structure your life. The devil is also like when your mom tell you to go to bed because the boogeyman gonna come. Nobody knows what the fuck the boogeyman is. We've never seen him, but we will get our ass in the bed, right? Because we was boogeyman come. Same thing with the devil. Has anybody told us what he looked like? They say he got red horns. Where'd the horns come from? Is he not a creature of this earth? Who is the devil? You know what I mean? So they created this scary figure to scare everybody and to stand in line and stand in uniform with the organized religion.
I get that. The other part though to that is,
in my opinion,
no. That's why I'm talking to you. Since I love talking to you. But I also feel like the devil is like this imaginary person that we blame shit on.
Exactly.
That when we do shit that's fuckery, instead of saying I fucking did that, I'm like, the devil made me do it because I wouldn't do that in my right mind. Nigga, that was your right mind. That was the other side of you.
Yeah. Well, you know how you had a little angel, a little devil. We all possess that. That's why I said it's whoever you allow to come in and dictate what you're doing. Like this devil over here, like Khadijah, go get that frappe.
So in other words, we're watching BET, and it was the whole devil's playground in there.
That was the devil's playground. They should have known from last year when what's the boy name with the red? I don't know. Well, this nigga, when he had sex with the devil, fuck he did. They should have known then that they should have just canceled the whole fucking award show. Like, Get out of here. I don't. You know what I mean? Like that's and yeah. So
Do you think liberalism is killing us?
no, I think stupidity and everybody wanting to be the it factor and wanting to be so different is making people weird. Like all these NBA, we didn't talk about this.
What?
All these NBA stars with purses and nail polish and dresses on. Only the black ones. I haven't seen not one NBA player walk in that motherfucker with a dress on and a purse and their nails painted. I'll wait. I mean, a white one. I haven't seen not a white one. I'll wait. I have not only black people or it's a picture with Pharrell and the rapper.
Yeah,
they at the fucking courtside.
They look
Pharrell
like two old women.
he got a goddamn
recipes.
scarf on that you wear when you're in a convertible so your fucking hair don't blow. He's sitting in the audience with it's embarrassing. Like,
do you think they on some kind of elusive drug?
I just think they caught up in the culture. They always been. A lot of people been in the closet about a lot of their activities. So now that everybody don't give a fuck and it's just a nasty ratchet culture, they can come out and say they really like men. They can come out and say they really like animals,
unicorns,
whatever. So I think people are just really they're comfortable living in their truth now, and the truth is becoming weirder and more stranger. And more strange, more becoming weird and strange, more and more as the time. 2025, I don't even.
So is this biblical prophecy fulfilling itself?
I don't even know the Bible. I don't know the Bible. You got to be clear. I don't. A lot of shit in the Bible say mother gets child and all that shit. All that's happening. You see, my mother killed two of her children. Some of that shit's happening. I know stuff like that is in there. But I don't really know. I never really, even though it was in church, I had time I was in church in my own world, but. I don't really know the Bible like that because it's just a book to me. And I'm a reader. So
how did you become an independent thinker the way you are? Because you really like some people join things. They start quoting everything out the Bible that they can possibly remember, especially when they want to tell the truth about how they really fucking feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
How I'm an independent thinker.
Yeah. How did you get to that part of yourself?
I always been in my own lane. Like I don't know. I never really cared about fitting in or needing to belong or needing somebody to tell me how to do shit. Like it's not something I need. Some people need somebody to tell them what to think of and how to think of it, and I just didn't need it personally. And I don't even like people all like that for somebody to really tell me.
What do you do when you don't like somebody and you in their presence? What the fuck
ignore the shit out of them, pay them dust. You ever walk to your house and you see dust? You don't never really focus on the dust till you cleaning. So I pay their ass dust. I just walk. I ignore them.
What if somebody say, "Why you don't like me, Sister Rolanda?"
And I proceed with my business. I don't fucking talk to you. So why my answer? I keep on going. I'm at the age in my life where I don't have to tell an explanation. If I don't like you, I just don't like you. If I don't want to talk to you, I just don't want to talk to you. If I don't want to go, I'm invited, I can't make it. Why? None of your fucking business. I'm to the age where I don't have to give a reason for why I move the way I move. I can't wait till I get to the age where I can say what the fuck say. Because old people can say whatever they want. They call, "Oh, you got fat." I can't wait till I get to that age. But yeah, I'm to the age where I don't need to explain anything. A reason why I do something, move the way I move, think the way I think, talk to who I want to talk to, and I'm also at the age where I will cut you off without thought.
How do you resolve conflict?
If it's worth solving, I'm gonna address the person. Because me and my sister, we wasn't speaking y'all for like almost a whole year. Mm-hmm. But sisters go through stuff. I would check on her to other people, but I was mad, so I hold grudges sometimes. But if it's something worth resolving, some conflict come along to burn the bridge. If some conflict come along to destroy whatever it was because it wasn't authentic. So some conflict come just to destroy it, so you can build something new or have a different understanding or a different relationship. So that's what I think. We're trying to reach up line
because I got my glasses, y'all, so I can't see. Our cousin's saying something.
Oh, she's like, yeah. But yeah, so I think, that's how I deal with conflict. Okay. Sometimes I address the conflict. Well, it's different types of conflict. Sometimes people have conflict with you, you're not even aware of it. So I don't even, until you bring it to my attention, I'm not going to address it. So all subliminals or what should have cut, I don't pay the attention. But when the conflict is at me, I address it head on and try to solve whatever the conflict is. And if I don't care, I really don't care, and I don't give a fuck.
Is it possible for middle class people, regular working class people, I don't want to say poor people,
working class,
people, working class, and then people who are wealthy, whatever. Is it possible for all of these people, in terms of Black folks, to be together or to work together?
Absolutely, I'm not saying because we had those in our communities before. We had times before we really live amongst white people and really fought to go to their schools and shit. We had the upper class, we had the middle class, and then we had those that would go out of the neighborhood and be maids and shit. and we all lived in the same neighborhood because we couldn't live with nowhere else.
Right on.
So yeah, it definitely can happen. It happened before, but you're gonna have to put a lot of bullshit away.
Right on, right on. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. You know, I love chatting with
Yeah,
you. You know,
I was about to say no.
I know, no, we about to shut
just-
your mouth up. So listen, in closing, what words of encouragement would you give to mothers who are raising children in this time, considering all the stuff we talked about?
I would say be present. Be present, and I mean present in social media, present at school, present with who they're interacting with, who their friends are, who their friends' parents are, who the other kids hang around, and just be a listening ear and share your experience with your children. Sometimes kids don't even know their mama used to club, a party, or people want to act like they're so perfect and don't share anything with their children about their life. So talk to your children, get a relationship, let them know that you're there for them, and and give them a good village, a good support team around them. You know what I mean? That's important, because when you're not present, you need to be somebody else that can step in your place. They can never be a mother, but somebody that your child know if their mother's not available, someone else, an adult, is there to be present. And the father of my son, thank God, in a 2-parent home, but sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes just fathers with their children, or just mothers, and they need somebody else the child can turn to that's an adult. Like today at the fireworks thing, you met Sean that was there earlier. He's an alumni. He's graduated already. And he said he texted with all the news and stuff going on. All the kids, he sent all the kids his number. Like, if you guys are ever out, need a ride or something you want to talk about. And I was like, Sean, because a lot of people don't have that. People come from a big family and are not necessarily close to anyone or feel comfortable telling their truth. So yeah, I think that's it. But just be present in your child's life. Right, that'll be my only advice.
Thank you, sis, for coming on and chatting with me. And thank y'all for listening and commenting. And we'll see y'all again.
All right. I holla.
She's so funny.